Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, it's that time again. Welcome once again to another episode of the Long Run Podcast.
Oh my goodness.
I am your host, Adam, as always, and joining me today is a lot of people. And this time, I believe you have met every single one of them.
Old favorites.
Yes, it's the standard crew, but it's actually a little bit of a full house. We got 6 people. Not by far the most compared to Batman v Superman, but still a pretty good amount. As always, I'm Adam, your host, and sitting next to me is none other than Jake Kupferberg. How you doing today, man?
Me? I'm doing pretty good, I gotta say.
Okay. All right.
Well, I mean, do you want an update?
Sure. How's your life been, man? It's been a while.
I've been working. I've been living at the Sigma Phi Delta fraternity.
Oh.
I'm not an affiliate, but, I know people. So that's been nice. And, just doing my thing.
Okay, all right. And then in front of him, we have none other than Nero Desai. How you doing today, man?
Good, Adam. How are you?
I'm good, man. It's good to be here. I'm glad that you came. Now, I don't know if you want to admit to this, so tell us the people a little bit about how you came about watching Finding Dory, which is what we're going to be reviewing today.
How did you discover this?
I love fish.
So basically, I knew my friends were in the theater and I wanted to get in, so I bought a ticket legally, and I came in through the right entrance and sat down right next to my good friend and your host, Adam.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
there's no other way to get in, Austin.
True.
Yeah, come on. And now that I said it, Austin is sitting right next to Nero. Austin, how you doing today, man?
I'm great. We are recording from my candlelit porch, and it's really nice. It's really cozy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy to be here, and I'm eating chips.
Yes.
On post-wisdom teeth mouth.
Oh, yeah. I'm not high on drugs anymore.
Yeah, Jake was high on drugs during our X-Men Apocalypse review.
If you couldn't
I'm
tell
only-
from him shouting, "Hi, I'm Jake, and I'm high on Percocet."
If you
that-
couldn't,
if
if
that's-
that didn't give it
If
away.
that subtle little chestnut flew under your radar.
I'm only slightly intoxicated. I'm on much less stronger stuff than Jake. I still can't drive, but not quite as bad as him.
It was apparently my operation was just like a fucking. Apparently, it was a piece of work. Let's put it that way.
But thank you. Welcome.
Yes. Shout outs to Austin for being a very
Thank you,
gracious
Austin.
host. Very, very gracious host.
You're very welcome.
And sitting next to him eating chips because he knows that no chips, no dip. It is Evan Chung. How you doing today,
Hello.
Evan.
I'm hungry.
man? very clearly,
I have a bowl
my
of
man.
chips in front of me and very little self-control. I'm sorry.
And next to him is none.
Bowl of chips.
Yes, the bowl of chips. And right next to the bowl of chips, we are once again joined by the professional,
The real.
the Cinemark, the white guy with Netflix. How you? It is Mark Krapinski. How you doing today, man?
Yo, I'm doing pretty good. Welcome to the Chipcast
yes.
here at Crunch Central.
Mark suggested that our podcast name be the Chipcast at first.
Do you need a moment?
But
Borrow your Netflix again.
so today we are going to be reviewing, of course, as always, full spoiler review and discussion of Finding Dory, Pixar's latest
Finding Dory.
film. So
Gesundheit.
Finding Nemo, I think, is a very beloved film.
Very beloved.
I would say it's in my top 5. How do you guys feel about Finding
Pixar?
Nemo? Yeah, for Pixar.
Oh yes, most definitely.
Oh.
I feel bad about Finding
Top
Nemo
5.
because I love Finding Nemo. I appreciate that it's a good movie, but that was the only DVD that was in any classroom from elementary school through high school.
That is true.
So that and Monsters Inc. Those are amazing movies, but I've gotten so burned out on them over the
I
years.
see.
Monsters Inc. I didn't see Monsters Inc. at all. I saw Finding Nemo tons.
For me, it was either Finding Nemo, Monsters Inc., or Super Size Me.
But there
Oh
was
God.
It was one of the three on a rainy day at
There
school.
was a morning in my Spanish class. There was a boy who actually died in a car crash in our Spanish class, and the teacher.
What kind of
on-
Spanish
the
class
teacher,
was that?
The teacher put on Finding Nemo because she didn't want to teach because she was so sad.
She's very
And the
gay.
opening scene happened where
Oh
where everyone dies, and we all lost it. And because of that, Finding Nemo really holds a special place in my heart,
Oh my
just because
God.
of how the sheer sadness in that room will never leave my DNA. It was permeable. It was-
Wait, what?
Holy shit! Welcome to the Nemo cast. I'm
Yeah.
gonna kill myself.
What
Enjoy the
year
mouth
was that?
sounds.
That was I don't know, junior year. His name was Jesse.
Oh wait, no. I think we all remember that.
Yeah. You were all there.
I remember
Johnny's
that.
doesn't.
I was not in that Spanish class. I was in the
I didn't
German
really-
class
I didn't really know
where
him.
I didn't
where
know
nothing
him.
is as it seems.
Nearly good.
Nero's just dying.
Nero, you okay?
They're going off on a tangent.
Well, no, it's just
It's okay.
It's
fine.
relevant.
Munching
The
on
Finding
chips.
Nemo name. It's relevant to me.
I mean,
Finding
no, it's
Nemo,
relevant. No,
death is around every
You
corner.
guys have this thing and he was munching on
More
chips. I'm just like,
we discussed the nature of mortality and its inevitability.
Come to the seas with Nemo and friends, where death waits at every turn.
Yeah, it truly does. I
And
was thinking
shadows
about
are
that during the movie.
inevitability.
Actually, everything can eat you as a fish.
I was actually,
Yeah, that is
I was a
true.
little on edge for this whole movie. I was like, ooh, I don't know, maybe because I've had pet fish since Finding Nemo came out, and I know how goddamn delicate those things are.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Before we get into the actual film, let's
Yeah.
continue the discussion about Finding Nemo. So, Evan, what do you think about Finding Nemo?
I really liked it. I saw it like twice when it first came out, and then I hadn't seen it for I think like a 10-year stretch.
Mm-hmm.
And I went back to it as an adult, and like I noticed things. I mean, obviously, when you're an adult, you notice things that you didn't notice as you were a child. But like I noticed like different themes. The movie got to me more than it did when I was a kid. Because when I was a kid, I was just kind of like, hey, look at all this funny shit like floating around.
adventure. And then you get older, and it's like, oh, it's
Oh my
about,
god.
it's about coming
Holy
to terms
shit,
with
yeah.
death and growing as a
Exactly.
human,
And then
oh,
as a parent about like letting go and all that kind of shit. It's a very poignant movie. I honestly don't know if I would rank it in the Pixar top 5 because I feel like there are movies I would put above it, which is really hard because Pixar, like, a lot of their movies are so good that inevitably some of them are just gonna like trump over the other.
Yeah.
But I think it's definitely at least like maybe top 8 for me.
How many movies have they had?
A few.
they have a lot.
They have
Like,
a lot. They have quite.
Has,
Maybe
it
like
been,
11?
has it been one a year?
No, they've skipped a few years before. Hold on, I'll look it up.
I'm
But-
surprised. I thought it would be universally in at least in most people's top 5.
It's tough to say because I remember really enjoying the film. I still don't know if I'd put it in like top 5 Pixar films though.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
I would definitely put it in my top 5, but the thing that we all have to remember is that Finding Nemo was not actually about finding Nemo. It was about Nemo finding himself.
I mean that was part of it.
Was
That was
it,
part
no,
of
no,
it.
wasn't it about Marlin?
There was
finding
a lot
himself?
of a lot of it too.
It was about Hank Scorpio realizing that sometimes the good things in your life will just be eaten by a barracuda, and you just have to move on.
Finding Dory is their 17th film.
17.
Okay,
Yeah.
17.
So-
So top 17.
Like I feel like being
Yeah.
the 8th best Pixar film is kind of like being bronze at the Olympics. Like
That's,
Yeah.
you might
yeah.
not be the top, but you're still pretty up
People
there.
know you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the Olympics.
I mean, I think Finding Nemo was probably like what came before. I think that was like
Uh,
one of the like
Monsters
Monsters
Inc.
Inc.
Monsters Inc., Toy
Yeah.
Story
Toy
1,
Story,
Toy Story
Toy
2,
Story 2,
Bugs
Bugs
Life.
Life.
Bugs
I
Life.
remember Finding Nemo being like huge. Like that was like like a massive Pixar.
It's really
thing
beloved.
that
Yeah.
I can't remember something being like that beforehand. Toy Story was big,
Mhm.
but I think Finding Nemo was like
Really beloved.
Finding Nemo. blew
Finding
up.
Nemo didn't not only blew up because of how good it was, but also because of the jump in animation quality.
That's true.
Yeah.
That was
Is a very pretty
revolutionary what they did with the water effects.
Mhm.
And
And same with
lightning.
Finding Dory. This is very.
Yeah.
Set it in the ocean and make it CGI animated. It will be a pretty film.
and
Yes.
just keep looking at sand, always sand.
Keep looking at sand and when you're on the surface of the water, but we'll get into that later. So going into this film, obviously there was a lot of expectations.
And
'Cause-
caution.
Caution, as always with any of these films, especially when you get a sequel to something that's so beloved, everyone's just like, I don't know, should we really
Do we need
it?
to find her too?
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when Finding Nemo was a very self-contained story.
That's
Oh, yeah.
true. Exactly.
Yeah, it bookended.
Out of all the Pixar movies, it would probably be on the very bottom of ones that you would think would get a sequel.
I completely remember when they announced it, and we had this discussion on the Facebook group. Everyone was like, I don't know how to feel.
It's Pixar, so I'm sure it'll be fine. But
Cars.
really,
Cars.
When's Incredibles?
we gotta wait. We gotta wait until
2018,
2019.
2019.
Does it fit into
Too
the
goddamn long. That's how long we have to
Incredibles
wait.
2 is 2019.
Is it part of the Marvel?
No, no, it's not part of the MCU.
It's a great time to make it though. It's a great time to make it though.
I
because
guess so.
because we're so superhero overdosed, they can make fun of it.
I mean, I don't know if they make fun of it though.
They can embrace it.
They could,
Yeah.
but I mean, the first Incredibles film was never about making fun of the tropes.
It was
really.
subverting it.
Yeah, it was saying what happens
Those heroes
after.
grew
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
Celebrating the Silver Age.
yeah.
Yeah.
What
The
he
Silver
said.
Age.
The Silver Age.
What's
Silver Age of
Age?
comics.
Silver Age of comics.
What's the silver?
The Silver Age is after World War II and before 1970.
Yes, that sounds about
Something
right.
like that.
Comics Code Authority, where everything had to be smiley and
Yeah.
adolescent, and everything was just goofy because they were so bored with writing morals.
Everyone
they
was
had
perfect.
They had to put something insane in, so that's why you would have issues where Superman fights a kryptonite ape. They had to have ape mandates.
Who was the one that was like, oh?
That was me.
That's the ape sound.
That's
Sorry,
kryptonite
we
apes.
pulled up footage of the Harambe.
No, stop! No, too soon.
Rest in peace, Harambe. Rest in
No.
peace, Skater.
We're not.
Did you see that one thing? Someone was playing Overwatch and there Winston. His name was Harambe.
Yeah,
Revenge.
Harambe Revenge. Justice.
Let's not get too political here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
just of it, the
Just
Silver
talk-
Age.
So we were a little
ape
cautious
mandates
going in.
were my
Silver
favorite.
Age is 1950 to the 70s.
Yes.
The 70s.
Wait, so there was a golden age. Right?
Golden
Yes.
Age is World War II, 38 to 50.
And why was it the golden age?
Why?
Yeah.
Because that's when the comics sold the most, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I guess they had a very easy villain to.
It was very
Nazis.
easy villain, and they were dirt cheap too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I made Hitler
it was
a
very cheap entertainment.
All you Jews want the. It's me, Captain.
With this itty bitty beard.
No, his flag would be a mustache, like, skull and crossbones with a mustache.
Okay, all right. So as we know, in Finding Nemo, Nemo gets like kidnapped, and the entire movie is about his
That's
father.
a segue.
His father Marlin trying to let's get focus here.
Yeah.
Marlin trying to find his
Himself.
his son,
Yeah.
His son.
but also himself, and he meets Dory along the way, who seemed to for a lot of people she was the character that kind of stole the show. She was always
Yeah.
She
she
was
was
a breakout character, most
yeah.
definitely.
I hated Dory.
Really?
All right, why'd you hate Dory, Evan?
I don't know. When I was a kid, I just found her to be incredibly annoying. And like when I was a kid, I was like, why does she keep forgetting things? Is she stupid? So like I don't know. I was very insensitive when I was a child.
I mean, thinking about like Dory, she is kind of like acts like the annoying kid in like some class
Exactly.
in like, elementary school,
Yeah.
which
Can't
I
help it, though.
think kind of showed in this film a little bit.
Yeah, I got a lot of like mental illness vibes from her
That was-
and the and some of the quarantine fish.
Okay, hold on. Before
Alright.
we get into it,
I know.
We'll
yeah.
get to the plot.
yeah. So we just have to.
We have to- in case you missed Finding Nemo,
And at the end of the movie, Nemo is found.
Yes.
Yes.
Spoilers.
Spoilers. Sorry if you hadn't seen it yet. Nemo's found, and everything seems to go happily ever after because now Dory's with Marlin and Nemo.
Yeah,
And
she
they're
has
like
a
all one
family.
big family.
She has a family.
Yeah.
Someone
Yeah.
who can make her remember things.
Everybody found their place.
Yeah, and now in Finding
great.
Dory,
wait, in the original movie, was she like looking for anything, or was she just tagging along?
No, as like the beginning of this movie, they showed her initial interaction with
Yeah.
Marlin.
Yeah,
She just bumped into him.
He bumps into her, and she's the
That's
only
it.
person that decides to help him. And from that
Yeah.
point on, she
I
was
saw a
just
boat.
there.
yeah.
But
there was no
didn't she
backstory.
have
I
like a
missed
moment
that
when
too.
she's
Yeah,
like,
she's
I don't
like,
have anybody.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
part. There's a part at the very end where he thinks that Nemo's been killed, and he's like, "Dory, fuck off, I'm sad." And she just has like a little emotional moment where
Yeah.
she's like, "This is the most purpose my life has had, and I can't remember when." Blah 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 blah
Yeah.
blah.
Yeah.
We're in this together. Goonies never say die,
Yeah,
etc.
yeah.
etc.
It's actually been a while since I've seen Finding Nemo, so
Me
it's a
too.
good refresher.
I kept flashing back to that scene because there's a lot of those moments in.
Yeah,
Finding
Marlin is
Dory.
still kind of being Marlin about a lot of things.
Marlin's a bit of a prick. in
Yeah,
this movie.
he's a bit of a jerk.
I'll say, so before we get to Marlin being a prick, so let's just get this plot thing out of the way. So in this film, Dory doesn't necessarily get lost or anything like that. It's not like she really gets kidnapped per se. It's more about her trying to find her family, as you've probably
Yeah.
seen from most of the
Yeah.
trailers.
But
So-
one thing leads to another.
Yeah, one thing leads to another, and Marlin and Nemo end up having to like go after her. Like they have at least an idea of where she is. It's not like a wild goose chase through the
Yeah,
entire
they were pretty close
the
behind
entire
her.
effing ocean.
It's more of
Yeah.
a breakout than a finding movie.
Yeah, yeah.
The scale
They
is
were-
a lot smaller.
Yes, most definitely. They were in the same aquarium.
Which
Yeah.
I think helped.
Yeah, it's much smaller scale, and it's not
The hell?
in the
I
ocean.
can see your breath.
Oh really?
Adam's breath. Here, keep talking.
And it's not in the ocean. It's
Slow.
It's more about it's really just an aquarium or what they call it, a marine life institute. Something
Yeah.
like that.
It
Yeah,
has Sigourney
It's a
Weaver.
huge-
Is that a real place?
I have no idea.
Let's Google.
Hold
Oh,
on, we have a computer.
Thank goodness we have the power of technology.
Are you chewing gum?
No,
Are you chewing gum?
Why did you see your breath so?
Jewel. Was it Jewel Bay?
Jewel of
I don't know.
California.
Something.
Last year.
Gazoon time.
Wow.
Jewel
Finding
of-
Dory Aquarium.
Just look up the Marine Life Institute in
Right.
California.
But yeah, so to fill this dead air, she's trying to find her parents.
No, Find Dory, don't buy her.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
no, there was
Oh,
a lot
yeah,
of controversy
There's
about
that whole because when Finding Nemo came out, clownfish sales like went through the roof.
And their
'Cause,
population
you know,
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Did it really hurt?
That's
the
what I-
clownfish?
that's what I heard.
It's supposed to be the Monterey Bay.
I thought it didn't really hurt
The
with
Jewel of
clownfish
Monterey
because
Bay.
they could
Maybe
breed
not
in
clownfish.
captivity.
I heard it was Dories though.
Yeah.
Or maybe
cause
it was the Dories.
The thing is, clownfish are
tangs.
tropical fish that can breed in captivity with no problem. So we have infinite clownfish. Do whatever you
Okay.
want with them.
Infinite clownfish.
Honestly, you know, literally,
The blue
go
tangs.
just go nuts. But the blue tangs, they cannot breed in captivity, so the only way to get them is to take them from the ocean.
This
So people are
movie-
saying if you buy them, like, I forget if it's don't buy them at all or only buy them if you know how to care for tropical fish like that.
Gotcha.
Because apparently they grow will be like a foot long and they have like poisonous barbs and
No way.
they die super easily.
They do that? Like, where
I
do the
don't know.
barbs come out?
Oh no, they totally have barbs like under their fins to like
That's pretty
poison
cool.
people.
Wait, I know fish like kill anything like they're with. So can that fish actually be with a clownfish in the same?
Maybe.
I'm
I
not
think
sure.
Give it up
honestly, I think
space.
clownfish might be able to be with like anything because of the whole anemone thing.
Okay.
Do you
Maybe.
like? Are they like a switchfish or something?
What do you? what do you-
Switchfish?
Clownfish?
You know what a switch? No,
Yeah.
no tangs.
No.
Do you know what a switchfish is?
What's the
Teach
switchfish?
us.
Basically, it's a
The
fish
fish
that
guys.
kind of is like a big switchblade, and it's got like hidden barbs, and like if something comes too close, it'll just flick it out and like kill
Oh
it.
yeah, no, that's totally what they are. Those and like angelfish too. They got little.
Angelfish has those.
Yeah, they
things?
got little barbs underneath their fins, and they just stab the fuck out of anything that tries to eat them.
Because they don't get stung.
What the heck?
Here on
Alright.
the fish cast,
I mean, it's good to know.
Mhm.
Good,
Yeah.
you want to know your. All right.
if you ever try and
you touch a
eat
touch a
eat a
tang.
blue tang, it'll barb you in the mouth.
So if you ever cornered, you know,
Dory.
by door. All right, but anyways, yeah, don't buy blue
El
tangs
DeGeneres poison barbs.
unless you can handle them.
So long,
Dory?
long story short, basically Dory's trying to find her parents. She ends up finding her parents, but it's kind of a wild goose chase in terms of them trying to get back into the ocean, which turned into something utterly ridiculous that we'll talk about. But
That climax.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
it
That
was
was funny.
It was funny, but pretty ridiculous if you think about it. Obviously.
I mean,
Anyway,
as
So-
believable as it could be.
yeah. So they get back to the ocean. Everyone lives happily ever after because now they have Dory's parents, and now everyone's one big happy family. They make some new friends along the way.
Yes.
But they also are free from captivity. So all in all, happy ending and some really good lessons learned in the movie.
Yeah.
What did you guys think?
I liked it. I don't remember the last time I laughed that much in a Pixar movie. Usually I'm thinking in a Pixar movie.
The last two that you probably
I've seen are Monsters University
Yeah.
and what was
Inside Out.
Inside Out.
So those
Both,
are like
both didn't really make me laugh too heavily.
those could be pretty serious. Like Inside Out, it's like
Inside Out's fucking heavy.
Inside Out, man. Like I got out of that theater and I was like,
but Bing
Well,
Bong's
I-
so funny.
Ooh.
Bing Bong.
Bing bong.
listen, man.
He
listen.
died for our sins.
Stop it! Someone get the tissues.
He was crucified under Pontius Pilate to save us all.
More memories.
So I wasn't sure if it was because I was in a theater setting with good friends that I laughed as much as I did. I'm not sure if I would have laughed at home by myself, but it was still very enjoyable. I liked this movie a lot.
I think with like the main character being the comic relief from the other one, it's probably gonna be like
It's true.
it's a more being that it's focused on her. It's got to be a more like jokey film, right?
Mhm.
But at the same time, it did balance it out with some pretty heavy moments.
Yeah.
'Cause I guess
Yeah.
that's like Dory's character is like
Tragic.
tragic, very tragic, mixed into like these jokes.
That's something they set up in the opening minutes of this movie. They're like, no, Dory has a mental illness.
Yeah,
yeah.
They made it very
They
clear.
made it
She
very
is-
clear.
She is straight up flowers for Algernon in this. Like,
That's a good way to put it, my friend.
She is
She's straight up
tragic on 5 levels.
straight up like of mice and men.
Yeah.
Oh, Lenny.
Yeah.
I wanna tend the shells.
The rabbits.
I got a question. Do you,
I
like
can see rabbits,
in
George.
the like the last Pixar movie was Inside Out, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
No,
The Good Dinosaur. The Good
Good
Dinosaur.
Dinosaur.
I liked
I did not
Good
see. I
Dinosaur.
did not see
I
that.
did not.
I was
watch
one of
that
the
shit.
5 people who saw Good Dinosaur.
I want to watch that.
And even I didn't see it in the theater.
Evan saw Good Dinosaur as well.
I saw it in the theater, and
Fresh off his Inside Out high.
it was just okay.
Yeah.
It was
It was.
okay.
It seemed just cute on the surface.
Well, like
It was dire.
it got pretty
Really?
heavy at certain points.
It was where the red fern grows with dinosaurs.
Where the red fern grows.
That's
I think
that's a
the title
novel.
book. That's the
Oh,
title
okay.
book, right? It's
Did you read it?
southern novel about a boy becoming a man and raising
Gotcha.
his dogs and
Gotcha.
shit. And things get dire.
Quick question.
Yes.
Is that new movie about like the vegetables in the fridge?
That's not Pixar.
That's not Pixar.
It's not I was about to say.
Hey parents,
Huh?
that's Pixar. Any parents listening, Sausage Party, go see it with your kids.
Oh, I'm so excited.
In Finding Nemo, like Dory was kind of like the comic relief, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
So
what she
in
was,
this
yeah.
movie, what was Marlon's position? 'Cause
Marlon,
it's-
Marlon's
Marlon's
position
still,
is
man.
he's always the
Straight
straight
man.
man. He's still the straight man.
Yeah.
It's
just
just
still
worrying
straight
all
man,
the time.
Basically, everyone's a straight man.
Which
when
was
you
a
have them
little
right.
odd because
So how did that dynamic work? Well, how did you feel about
like
that?
Marlon's dynamic was a little odd because like the last movie it was very cut and dry. You know, Dory was the wacky one. He was the more straight laced, cowardly one.
Making the plans.
You know, so they bounced off each other in a very natural way. But in this one, you know, obviously they got to go find Dory, hence the title.
Mhm.
So, like now Marlon is paired up with Nemo, and they have a very interesting chemistry because like Marlon's kind of an asshole to Dory, and Nemo's
Yeah.
kind of an asshole to his dad.
I guess, yeah. I feel
Like,
Evan, you look like you got something to say, man.
What?
Yeah,
I
like-
mean, like, someone throw a question at me because I have a lot of the things.
Well,
that I
no,
can
no,
talk
addressing
about.
that.
Nemo
what he
and
said.
Marlon's
Nemo and Marlon's relationship.
how do you
Okay,
feel
got it.
about Marlon's place in the movie? In this
as like a straight man.
I thought it worked fine.
I had no issues.
I feel like his asshole qualities were kind of flanderized in this movie just a little bit.
You might
that's
be,
a
yeah.
that's a really good way to put it.
That might be true.
Like there were times where I was just like, I feel like this is not so much how Marlon would actually act, but this is just how the writers have written him.
Would figure him.
You'd think he
Yeah.
would have learned.
He's the
from
cowardly
his,
doting one, and it's like no. By the end of the movie, he grows and learns, and he's still kind of cowardly and doting,
Right.
but he's not so much of a prick about it.
So like I know like sometimes sequels are like just a continuation of the story, and even though it's like Finding Dory now,
Mhm.
do you think like the characters were like changed and altered to fit that storyline,
I
or
feel
was it just
like-
continuation of that?
I mean, there was only 3 characters.
Yeah, like
Really.
The old ones, anyway.
I feel
So
like
like you brought up a good point about like Marlon changing.
Yeah.
Did you guys feel he changed a lot to the point where it just seemed like he was scripted into this?
I feel like he did the same thing in this movie that he did in the last movie.
Yeah.
It seemed like he didn't complete his arc from the first film, which is
Right,
that he
okay.
wasn't
the
cowardly.
growth wasn't there.
Like the first film, he very obviously completes his arc at the end. You know, there's the little moment where they're going off on the field trip, and he's like, "Oh, have fun," you
Right,
know.
there was
like you know, and it's like, okay, you know, he's learned not to be afraid. But in this one, he's, you know,
You think you can
He's
do these
being-
things, but you just can't.
yeah,
Nemo.
exactly. There's those moments in this again, and like Dory has some character development in this one.
Whole bunch of characters.
by the end, a lot. And really, that's my only problem with this movie is that it's funny and it's enjoyable and it's very pretty to look at. And it was a good time, but it's also does very little new. I felt it was kind of a rehash of Finding Nemo.
Mm.
Interesting. Evan, what do you have to say, man?
I don't know. I'm going with one of the biggest problems I had with this movie was that I felt like the movie was just going through the motions a lot of times.
Yeah.
Where
What sort?
what was that?
What sort of emotions?
Like I was able to like call a lot of the events or
Oh.
like sort of get the feel of what's gonna happen next, and just
I
kind of
see.
like there wasn't really a sense of urgency to the plot, despite the plot, you know, being about Dory finding his parents and having all
Really?
this adversity. You know, and I felt like, you know, since Pixar is completely aware of the power they have over the audience in terms of making them cry like little bitches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of the emotional moments in this movie, I felt didn't really feel organic to me. It just felt like an emotional moment in the movie would happen. I was like, all right, it's
The
time.
spoilers. You can talk like, about the emotional moment.
Yeah, well, like some of this part were like, you know,
Like memories?
like memories or
Flashbacks?
like
Yeah.
memories or like when like
Yeah.
Dory's like contemplating her navel. Fish don't have navels. Contemplating her navels.
Do they?
Fish.
And just
I guess
it's like
they know the point of that.
it's like I would watch it and I was like, oh, okay, I guess it's time for the audience to cry again.
Yeah.
Just kind of stuff like that.
That's
can
an
see what you
interesting
mean.
point you brought up because I want to ask you guys like because of the point I came into. I felt like it was very choppy. It was just like, oh, okay, get to this thing where you met the octopus, and
Yeah.
then you have to go to the bigger thing. And oh, they're not there. Let me go to quarantine. Let me go there. Oh, let me go to the
That
sewage.
might be just
And it was
because Dory was leading them.
Actually, I wanted to ask you guys, since I haven't seen Finding Nemo in a while, I felt like this movie, the pace of this movie was relentless. Like it was like, let's not linger on any scene that long.
Yeah.
You know,
Was
I
Finding
kinda
Finding
felt
Nemo
that.
like that?
That's true.
I don't remember if
Actually,
Finding Nemo
that's
was like
probably
that.
what I was
No, it
feeling.
wasn't. There was downtime.
Yeah,
There was downtime.
in this movie, I felt like there was
Yeah,
no
yeah.
downtime
It's
at
not
all.
like
It
this was all
oh, we're
action.
doing this.
It was just.
It's just like, okay, we're here, and then we're
Yeah.
here, and then we're here, and then we're
Yeah,
here,
your
and then we're here.
question answered my
Yeah,
question.
yeah.
Actually, yeah.
There
okay.
was no breathing moment where they're just like, so what do
Exactly.
we do now? It was always just like, oh my god, oh
Like
my god,
it,
oh my
it,
god.
it wasn't disorienting.
Disorienting.
Yeah, it wasn't disorienting.
No.
Like for example, there was one movie just recently that came out.
You never had a moment of rest while watching.
I
this
forget if
movie.
I forget if it was Civil War or Batman v Superman, where it jumped around a lot.
Batman
Like
v
That was Batman and Superman.
Okay, fine. You know what? We'll go with that as a
Civil
negative
War
example.
was
That's
relentless
original.
too, though.
Yeah.
But like I know for that it was like 5 minute scene here. Now we're all the way across the world. Now we're here, and now we're here, and now we're doing this. Like this one wasn't like that, but it was fast.
Okay.
Like you never lost track of where you were in the
Mhm.
film. It just didn't linger on anything.
I don't
Yeah.
think your average moviegoer probably would have been like, oh, I'm tired, or oh, I'm noticing that we're not resting, but it was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Like it was.
Nobody. It's impossible to be lost in this movie.
In
Yeah.
that
I would
sense,
agree.
it's very much like a kids movie because you can't linger because then the kids get
That's
bored.
true.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a good point.
It's
Yeah.
true.
That's a good marketing point, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't
Mhm.
know. Like I said, that's why I was asking about Finding Nemo because I don't remember it being that slow.
There was totally some breathing.
There was a lot
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
times when they'd just be floating in the open ocean.
Yeah.
Honestly, like this kind of feels like a Finding Nemo sequel for people who haven't seen Finding Nemo, because like it hits
Mm.
the same kind of story beats. Like they get chased around by a big glowy monster thing, and
That was pretty
It was,
scary.
it was a squid.
yeah, it was a squid, but squid, anglerfish, and they get carried around by a comedic bird, and they have to sneak through the human facility. They have to find a way to trick the man-made fish facility kind of thing.
Displaying the
They make
horrors of
friends with a
children.
whale.
Yeah, there's
Horrible
the,
children.
There's the
Boom,
whale
boom,
talk.
boom.
There's just keep swimming. There's the seagulls, which I'm glad that the seagulls were just a quick cameo and it wasn't lingered at
Yeah.
all, because they totally could have milked those for
Oh, yeah,
how
totally.
recognizable those
Oh, yeah.
are. Like there wasn't a whole
What?
lot of like remember this thing, but it hit a lot of the same story beats.
You're right.
In what Mark is saying, I agree with it, but to me, it more like you can look at it in two ways. You can say like, oh, it's not you didn't do anything new, or you could say something like it just makes everything feel much more cohesive.
Like it did things different, but they were very similar. Like for instance, if you look at like to use an example from Pixar, if you look at Toy Story 2. Like Toy Story 2,
That was really different.
similar premise. Toys are lost and they have to get
Yeah.
back. Only difference is now it's Woody instead of Buzz. However, totally different setup, totally different circumstances, totally different story beats. You have the whole thing, totally different villain or
Yeah.
villains.
You find out more about Woody's
But
backstory.
that's
Yeah.
that's what the thing is with these movies. Like it's because it's like a continuation of the same type of storyline. The beginning and end are going to be the same. It's
Yeah.
the middle content that we're looking for,
Mhm.
and I didn't really think that was too progressive based on what I saw.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys thought.
It's just.
It didn't give me any new moments to love these characters, I don't think.
Exactly.
The
Like
old
when he
ones.
mentioned the seagulls and like them not milking it, I kind of like appreciated that because like I don't know if that came earlier from when I came, but putting that in again, you're just like okay.
It's just
Like,
like,
there's
oh,
a part-
remember this?
Right.
There's a part.
exactly.
There's a part in the climax where they're driving around and they look up and she's like, they're trying to find the ocean and she looks up. And she's like, "Oh look, seagulls!" And you just hear very faintly like, "Mine."
Exactly.
Mine.
Yeah.
And you're like, "Oh, those are the seagulls. I remember those." But that's all they show
Very
up
But
for.
that's good though because that's like good for the people who like are nostalgic about the first one and they're like okay we
Yeah.
know but it's like something you can
It's like
hold,
I get
that
that.
like the
I-
younger
I
kids
understood
wouldn't
that
really
reference.
Mhm.
probably pick up as quick.
I
Like
completely agree.
I would. The thing is with this movie is there's a lot of new stuff that they introduce, a lot of new characters, and I love these new characters.
Yeah, the new characters were all great. I
Yo,
like
thought.
the-
shout outs to Octopus Guy. I forget Hank.
Yeah,
Hank was great.
Hank's
Ed
my man.
O'Neill.
Hank was
Okay.
great.
Ed O'Neill
you
is
answered my
Hank the
question. So you guys
Octopus.
like the new characters and like the new
Yeah,
dress.
he
Most
was
definitely.
the highlight of this. I liked Sweet D the whale shark. I thought she was
I
pretty
love
cool.
those seals.
What was that
Uh,
echo thing?
Echolocation.
That was
Echolocation?
Echolocation. Beluga
Yeah,
whales
it's a
can
beluga
use
whale.
echolocation like bats.
Oh
to
wow.
see-
Okay.
Yeah.
okay.
Like bats
See
or
across the
daredevil.
ocean.
Granted, I don't think it can be
I don't think it works like
It can-
that.
I don't think it
I don't
can-
think it works like that.
miles away. But
Dry
For
air.
a plot device, sure.
Is there
Dry
going to be
air,
a Marvel
no less.
movie about the Beluga?
He's gonna team up with Daredevil.
Yeah.
In the next
Dude, he
season
had
of
like
Daredevil.
GPS on the highways and that thing. Like I didn't get that.
They're
Anyway, keep
gonna
going,
fight
Mark.
Jigsaw. But no, I liked I really liked all these new characters, but with the exception of Hank and maybe the seals, because the seals you don't really need to characterize. They're kind of
Yeah.
they're very
they're a
obviously
character type.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're comedic relief. They're very clearly a character type.
Idris Elba.
You know, Idris Elba. It was Idris Elba and somebody else.
Dominic West.
Dominic West.
Yes.
That okay. Idris Elba and Dominic West. And I thought they did a really great job.
Disney just has Idris Elba on lock. Like
Yeah,
he was on
yeah.
Jungle
I will do your
Book,
role.
he was in Finding Dory,
I will
he
do
was
your
in
role.
Zootopia.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
I need to voice a sea lion in a Pixar
I do it.
film.
It hurts my mouth to do it. Idris Elba voice, so I won't. But I mean, I really
Idris
want
Elba
to.
was the panther, right?
No,
He
he
was
was
the
the tiger in Jungle Book.
Okay.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
he was the tiger.
But
Shrek Han.
oh man,
What a
like
change.
yeah,
Mm.
no. The aside from the octopus and the seals, that we didn't really get too much characterization on the others. Like we didn't get enough time for what were their name? Bailey, who was played by the beluga whale, played by Ty Burrell,
Mhm.
and
Mark.
Destiny, who is Caitlin Olsen.
Mark, what are you talking about? Becky got a lot of development throughout this movie, man.
Becky. Oh,
Becky.
Becky.
Oh my
the
God,
bird.
Becky! Okay, Becky was pretty great. I like Becky a
I
lot.
like Becky too.
I like Becky just because the first time you see her, like,
I didn't know what to expect.
for anybody who hasn't seen this movie and doesn't give a shit about spoilers, Becky's this fucked up looking bird. I don't even know what kind of bird it's supposed to be.
I've definitely seen it before. They have these bulging red eyes.
It's one of those horrifying, beady-eyed, like,
Yeah, yeah.
beach rat type birds.
Yeah.
And this thing, like, the first time you see it, like, they're building it up, they're like, Becky can help you. And the first time this thing shows up, they don't even bother to get, like, a bird sound. It's just straight up a guy going, ah! Through a microphone. And it's the
Becky's
funniest
supposed to be
thing ever.
a loon.
A
A
loon.
loon. Okay, Becky the loon.
That is really nice. That's a double entendre.
Freaking.
The loon, like loony.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Loon.
Ah!
Crazy.
Loony loon.
Nice catch.
Yeah, no, Becky was a good touch.
Going off of what everybody's saying, I can agree that even the secondary characters that we saw in the first one, I've seen it more recently than I guess most people here. Like Crush the Turtle, who also made an appearance in this movie. What we saw of Crush in the first movie was surfer guy, really old, father figure as well. He cared about his kids. Like we had a lot of moments to really flesh out that character.
He was a foil to Marlon.
Yeah.
Exactly. He served a purpose too. That's not even what I was getting
He
at. But
wasn't
that's
even
also
in the
true.
movie for that long.
No,
he
no,
was
he
in there for
wasn't.
like 5.
But-
He was honestly probably in there for as long as he's in this one.
My
Yeah.
point being that these new characters that we got did not get as much fleshing out as even Crush did in the old one.
They didn't steal the show.
They didn't steal the show.
Mm.
They had roles to play and aspects to invoke, but that's it.
That's a good point because maybe it could be the nostalgia goggles, but I think that for Finding Nemo is one of those movies where everyone has their favorite character.
Yeah.
Some people like Bruce,
Yeah.
some people like Crush, some people like the jelly,
Bruce!
some people
Oh,
like
we didn't
some
get
people
Bruce.
some people like the jellyfish even though they didn't say anything. Some people like who's the black fish that's in the dentist?
Gil.
Yeah, some people
Green
really like
Goblin.
Gil. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like everyone has their own favorite
I
character.
like the starfish.
Yeah.
Didn't the shark get its own like?
Bruce?
Yeah, didn't Bruce get its own like movie?
No.
Show?
Maybe a
No.
short.
No, that was Shark Tale, and it starred Will Fish. Will
no,
Fish.
no.
It starred Will
Smith.
Fish.
No, on
Smith.
Nickelodeon. There was
No,
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I'm not sure.
Not that I
There
know.
might have been
Not
a
a Shark
short.
Tale
There might have been a
It was
short
Kenny
or
the Shark.
something.
It was a short or something. Okay.
But I don't remember.
I
I like Shark Tale a lot. Maybe because
We
it
need
had
to
Will
do
Fish in
a
We
it.
need to do a podcast on Shark Tale.
Yeah.
I need to revisit that one.
Yeah, we'll do a retro review of that, but
Retro review.
The Shark
Um,
Tale retrospective.
It's kind of like the ants for Finding Nemo.
basically.
It really is.
So I don't want to say it seems like we've been like shitting on the movie because we're not. I think
No.
we're definitely like
It
saying
was a
some.
very good time.
I think we're definitely pointing out some I wouldn't say flaws, but definitely differences. How it's less.
Mhm.
It's not as good as Finding Nemo.
Not as meaningful.
Can I?
Yeah, but go ahead,
Can I
Jake.
I think I was thinking about this before. It's kind of like the same. I always said it's the same story, right? It's like the same kind of challenges and whatnot, but it's just told through like I guess it's a Dory kind of perspective of things. Instead of everything being very dark and scary and almost like non-sentient as with the anglerfish and like some of the other
true.
Like these faceless humans, everything's got a face, everything is friendly trying to help, and it's I guess in this instance it's Dory who's like the big challenge to her, a big obstacle to the story.
I did think the whale shark was going to eat her.
Really?
I wasn't sure. Like I didn't know. Like as soon as they mentioned the whale shark and that she was put in the feeding bucket for Destiny,
Yeah.
I thought this whale shark was going to be this massive,
Really?
huge
No.
monstrosity who was going to eat her.
Honestly,
that
I
was-
thought Hank was trying to eat her at first.
Oh yeah, I did too. I
Yeah.
thought that they played that up. Like,
I like how Hank is like The trailers make him look to be that kind of like stereotype character.
He's like Gil.
Yeah,
he's gonna be like Gil.
The trailers make him out to be like that kind of character that's in every single kids movie with talking animals.
Penguins of
Like
Madagascar.
I'm gonna break out of here. You know? I'm gonna turn this into a spy movie spoof for 5 minutes. You know, like that kind of character. He was actually just kind of like a grumpy, curmudgeonly, scheming asshole.
Who was traumatized by the ocean.
Yeah,
No, he's traumatized
I really
kids.
like
By
that.
the kids.
But yeah, by an aquarium setting, yes. You wanted the ocean.
I want more of
Oh, you wanted the
Hank. He
aquarium.
was the best takeaway from
Yeah, I
this.
definitely liked Hank a lot.
was
So what do you guys think was your favorite part of the film?
God.
Like, what do you think?
We talking like aspects or
Yeah,
scenes?
yeah.
I gotta
Anything.
say, I
What do
really
you
like
think?
the touch
Anything, really.
tank, and I know it's like
Yes.
kind of a cop out,
Yes.
but I just like
That-
how it was like this war scene, and the starfish gets dragged away.
That was a scene I was ready to, because like they put that in the trailers.
I
You
didn't
know?
see any trailers.
I didn't either.
It was in some of the trailers for a bit, and I was like, oh, okay, it's gonna be like that bit in Toy Story 3 where the kids are like, you know, fucking up all the toys. They went above and beyond.
This
on
was
it.
like this was like Saving Private Ryan.
That's what I was thinking.
I was waiting for the starfish to walk around and pick up a silver leg. Like, just it was the little touches that you don't expect. Like the one sea cucumber, like they're in my area.
no, the best one was when like Dory like was under the rock and like get out of here, and then he goes out and he gets grabbed. Like, this is my space.
My favorite part was those little I forget what the actual word for them is. I think they're like sand eels or something, like the little tubey guys that pop down the rocks. Turn back, fingers, look away, beware.
Like, just to let everyone know, that's when I walked in.
Oh, yeah, Nero missed the first half of the movie.
Oh my god.
Yo, you missed the best part. You missed the starfish getting dragged away into the sand.
I love any opportunity for. I love how Pixar does it. They did it in the last Finding Nemo with Darla, like the horrible Australian girl who kills her fish by trying to like shake them.
She had a cameo in this.
I didn't even notice
In
it.
she didn't show up, but right in the
Are we talking about the girl in the dentist office?
the one with
her.
the denture
Oh, okay.
with the
Braces.
teeth. Yeah,
Yeah.
fucked up mouth.
Headgear.
Yeah. In this one, in the quarantine, when she first gets dumped in there on the bulletin board, there's the picture of her is
Oh,
on the
really?
bulletin board.
Oh,
for
I
whatever
didn't
reason.
I didn't even
Nice
notice.
catch.
Yeah.
I love that.
I was keeping an eye out for these
I
movies. I
liked how
didn't
they
catch the Pizza
demonized the
Planet trope.
children. That was so funny. That was so funny, and because it's an innocent thing. The touch tank, like touch the fishes. It's gonna be fun. But then it's just like boom, boom,
for
boom.
the kids,
For the
maybe.
kids.
Touch the fish, but don't be a little grubby asshole about it.
It's a good thing that sea urchins probably aren't sentient. Or sea cucumbers. Or starfish.
It's got me dancing on me. Broken, broken. You gotta do a podcast on Surf's Up too. Surf's Up is true cinema.
Wait, was that the one with like penguin
penguin that's
surfing?
surfing.
That was the one where Shia LaBeouf and Napoleon Dynamite Chicken go surfing in Hawaii. And
Was
it's
it
getting
chicken?
yeah, no, and it's getting a sequel where John Cena and Vince McMahon come in and they wrestle while on surfboards.
What the fuck?
Are you being serious?
I'm being dead serious.
All right,
You
I
think
have to
joke
see this
about
movie
that?
now. But
It's called Wave Mania.
Evan, what did you think was your favorite part of the movie, man?
I really liked the comedy in this movie.
Yes.
It was
thought
hilarious.
This movie was very funny. Like even funnier than a lot of like Pixar movies that I've seen, where it's
I
like
can
just
agree.
just relentless like laughs.
Mhm.
Where like okay, there were rarely moments where I was like laughing out loud, but there were a lot of moments where I was like continuously chuckling
Oh
because
no, I laughed out loud for a lot of them. No, my favorite one was when Hank did the insult where he was like, "Yeah, suck it, bipedals or whatever."
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You were
I
gone.
died.
There's explicitly an octopus telling someone to suck his dick in this movie.
Yeah.
What rating did this movie get?
It was PG.
Was it
Yeah.
PG? Because I thought
It couldn't be
I really-
PG-13.
I
thought
Finding Nemo.
No. I was thinking it was a G because I think Finding
That's also
Nemo's
half
a G.
their
There
audience.
might have been
so
some
they're not
minor
gonna make
peril.
it.
There might have been some minor.
There was some minor
some
peril.
minor
Dramatic
peril,
elements.
some comic mischief.
Wait, was Finding Nemo G?
I'm 90%
doubt
sure it
it.
was G.
Really? That was
Yeah.
a scary movie to be
There was
honest.
some minor
It had
peril in
scary
there.
bits,
Wait,
but,
for PG-13, can like they go in with a parent?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I was gonna say they can't make it PG-13. That'd be half their.
PG-13. What's that? What does that usually mean? Like there's cursing in it.
There's cursing.
And then R means
there's
that there's
violence.
boobies.
Might be some violence.
Okay, there wasn't
yeah.
cursing, but like that's kind of a
Could be some
reference to
sexual
something
tones.
sexual.
Yeah. Anyway.
Finding Nemo was rated G.
Okay.
I want to give a shout out to Hank's various disguises throughout sneaking.
I mean, like
His
that was very
animation.
Ex Machina, but it was so cool.
No, it was so
Yeah.
cool. Like
animation
the
on
first
Hank
one that he did, I didn't know
was-
how. I didn't know what he was gonna do when they were about to get caught. It was him and Dory. Dory was in like this coffee mug. He blended in to be like a plant, and I thought that was so
Oh, no,
clever.
that was great.
That
They
was
had
great.
so much
clever to me.
fun designing and animating
Yeah.
this guy. I love the way he
You guys
works.
really like Hank.
Oh yeah.
Oh, no, he's the best
he was
part of this
incredible.
movie.
No, my favorite part too was when Dory first goes off and he's like swinging from the pipe.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, let's go.
Well, it was the first time he was introduced when she was going from that one tank where the octopus let go of the ink to the big circular one.
No,
No.
that was not
he
his
was
first
introduced
introduction.
before
He was
that.
the
very
Oh
beginning.
yeah.
He was right when she got to the
To the
the
place.
Institute.
Marine Life Institute.
And let me
he
ask you,
showed
did he
up.
have a good introduction? Like, was he like a big character?
Oh
for
no,
this?
yeah.
It was,
it was
an
an awesome intro.
I'm
It was that bit
surprised-
that's in the trailers where he's like slinking around and he falls into the sink and he accidentally turns on the garbage disposal.
And,
see.
like,
Which
almost
also might be
inserts
really
himself.
painful.
I thought that was really funny.
That was hilarious.
I saw that in the
I knew it
trailers.
was coming because it was in every trailer. I still
Yeah.
laughed. It was
Yeah.
fucking funny.
I thought he was gonna like hurt Dory to get the tag. I'm surprised
thought-
he didn't.
I thought he was
was
gonna
very
eat her.
reasonable. He was very reasonable about
Yeah.
this whole
'Cause
thing.
he's got 3 hearts.
Yeah,
He's got 3 hearts.
He's a
There's
nice
a lot
guy.
of fish facts in this movie.
Mhm.
You learn that
Because
the
Dory
beluga
grew up in
whale.
one.
Beluga whales have echolocation, and octopuses have 3 hearts,
Mhm.
and
Inking.
it
otters
was
have cuddle parties, and
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff.
That's what they
Otters.
call them.
Bro otters who just like
Yeah.
decided to help
Those
Dory.
otters could have so easily been like
Eaten.
the minions of this movie.
oh yeah, for sure.
They so easily
And
could have
granted-
been.
and
Or like the
Granted,
penguins
the
from
otters-
Madagascar.
Yeah.
And granted, the otters could have caused like at least tens, like
Oh, I
like
thought that
some
was-
a lot of death.
That could have been
I
so
would
much
like
worse.
alternate ending where the car just plows through the otters.
I was like,
just
full speed ahead.
liquefies
It's like
them.
they start in front of that one guy's like, I hate otters, man. I hate otters.
Killed my family.
Fuck them.
When I was 9, I saw otters murder my
I was
family in
raped
front of
by
my
an otter.
I have otter PTSD.
Otter
That could have
otters
been
are
a
my
lot worse.
trigger.
That whole bridge could have been filled with people.
They're
in
not
cars.
endangered. We can hit them.
but
We're eating otter stir fry tonight. Mow them down, scoop them up.
so I do have to mention, and especially since I know I'm going to talk with Bianca about this later, but the animation in this film, like the quality, the way the animation looked, everything was spectacular.
Very, very
It
was
pretty.
incredible. Especially, I think what impressed me the most is when they're above surface and you
Yeah.
see the water and you see all the dynamic reflection. You see
Yeah.
refraction, like you see bloom lighting. Like it's incredible to do that. It's so hard to do that. And also the short film in the beginning that looked
was
incredible
so pretty.
too.
That was
The
so
fur
pretty.
tech, like the
That is
sand.
It was.
Yeah,
Did you
that
see
was-
that
yeah.
sand?
Yeah.
Sand,
that
man.
movie, that short film, I feel like it was little more than an animation showcase. It was,
Yeah,
it
basically,
was
yeah,
really
that's what it seemed
gorgeous,
like.
but it wasn't as like cute or funny as all the other
That was
Pixar
pretty
shorts.
cute.
It was pretty
It was
cute.
cute.
It was pretty
Yeah.
fucking
Cutesy.
cute, but it didn't really have a message.
Actually,
I mean, it
I'm
had a
not gonna lie.
message, but it wasn't.
For that one part where they're
was no
closing
paper.
I know
down
what
the
you mean.
marine,
Yeah.
like the marine museum,
Mhm.
and they have the shots of the outside and the cars leaving the parking lot.
Mhm.
I thought that was an actual like.
Oh yeah.
Nero was fooled.
Yeah.
I was actually fooled because I thought like above the water, kind of like that SpongeBob David Hasselhoff thing. They brought, like, you know what I mean? Like they went to like real life.
We're in the real world now.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Nero, help us! Help me find my son!
Climb on my chest.
Who are you? David Hasselhoff. Hooray!
So like the animation was so freaking good that it fooled it fooled me.
No, you should have seen the what is
Yeah,
it?
you really
the
should've.
intro sequence.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to see that now.
It was.
Interesting.
It looked real.
Baby Dory had some big fucking eyes.
Oh,
Baby,
so cute.
Baby Dory, like,
Baby
they try to
Dory.
make her as adorable as
Yeah.
possible.
Baby Dory was almost too cute. Baby
They did
Dory
a
was
good
like a
job.
manufactured kind of carriage.
Yeah.
Like I just pictured like scientists in a boardroom, like, no, make the eyes bigger, make her
Too cute. Lock it down.
make her more mentally
We,
impaired.
we want those eyes like Michael Shannon.
Well, okay, let me ask
Little
you this.
baby Dory's like, I were fine.
Let me ask you. God, if there was one character that was introduced from this movie that had to have the next movie based around them, who would it be?
I mean, guns on my head, I have to say Hank, but let's not do
Let's
another movie.
not.
He has the most fleshed out.
Yeah.
That and he has the most mystery too. We never found out how he
It would
lost
be
his
interesting
leg.
to know,
But,
like,
Hank is also old, so I
yeah,
mean,
it would be interesting to know his backstory.
How about the fish tank crew?
Make him. I
Fish
like,
tank crew from the first one.
So-
I
so
would-
you're
I
saying
would,
Jordan-
I would say make a movie about them, but I also feel like they're kind of a one-note joke.
Yeah.
Like they would be. They were good for the B plot in Finding Nemo.
like who was surprised when they saw them? Like I wasn't really impressed.
I was spoiled because the credits had their voices
Yeah, it had
listed, and
their
I,
names.
I was
I
like,
didn't
"Oh,
see
Willem
that.
Dafoe's in this. Oh, I
Yeah.
guess I know what's after the credits."
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Like, and their post credits thing was pretty great. I like
They
that a lot.
swam all the way from Australia to California.
They
That's
they
what that
survived
credit
a
scene-
year in Ziploc
Yeah.
bags.
You can tell
This
from the
movie takes
algae.
place a year later. They've been eating their own shit for one whole
It's a
year.
self-contained ecosystem.
I thought that was really
That's
impressive.
hilarious.
I don't know about you guys, but I really want a spin-off about that retarded seal.
That seal.
Oh.
Okay, no, dead ass. Like everybody's like, "Oh, Hank was the best thing about this movie." That retarded seal was the best thing about this
That
movie.
seal was so
All I wanted was
funny.
The Rock.
He was so stupid looking. Like it looked like,
It's like
so-
Sid from Ice Age.
it looked
Yep.
like they were
Yes.
like
Yep.
they were like
Little
draw a
one.
seal that annoys the other seals, and it looks like they busted it out on a napkin and then just like one of those things where an artist on Facebook is like, "Oh, I take kids' drawings and turn them into like beautiful works of
Yeah,
art."
yeah.
It looks like someone took a napkin doodle and just CGI'd it as is. Like he never appears from like more than one angle, and his eyes are like off the side of his head, and he's got like two teeth always showing. Like he looks like nothing else in this movie.
Yeah, he's
What was,
very, very
what was the
odd.
background behind that? Like it just like tries to get on the rock and the other.
That's
two
it. That's
Yeah,
it.
the
that's,
jo-
that-
the
that's
joke-
literally the
it's
story.
a-
Yeah,
and at
the-
the end
rock.
he's on the rock.
The joke is
Yeah.
how seals are always like assholes to each other,
Or-
pushing each other off of rocks.
Uh-huh.
And that's the other thing too. Is like you got big glowy thing. You got kind of
Territorial.
characters that hang out in the wharf and are like
Helpful
mine,
seals.
mine. You know,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Right,
you have
right.
that. But no, those seals were great. I love the Cockney seals.
Yeah.
They were just kind of like lazy and
very
wanted to
helpful.
get rid of this guy.
Mhm.
Also very helpful, just to strangers.
Yeah.
For sure.
You know, it's a
Everybody
beautiful
in
place.
this movie was really helpful.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
actually.
yeah.
Everyone was
there
just-
were very
everyone
few
was just-
scumbags in this
Yeah,
movie.
there's very little obstacles besides Dory herself.
Can we talk about the whole mental illness vibes?
Yeah, go ahead. Austin.
Yeah.
I know you want to talk. I
Well, I don't
see it
know.
in your eyes.
I wasn't expecting that, but it's they from the beginning they set the bar and the tone that Dory, because in the first one it was all comic relief. She forgets things. But
Yeah.
I think there was a moment when you kind of realized that she's
Something's
not all
wrong.
well.
Mm-hmm. And
There's
Ne-
that bit
Nemo,
at the end after he tells her off when she's just circling around, like trying to figure out where to go.
Yeah,
and Marlon
it's
learns to
scary.
he learns to grow and trust her
He learns to
That's-
accept her mental
and accept her.
disability.
And Nemo's the same way. And in this movie, it was portrayed. We
It was
talked
much
about
more
how Marlon
serious.
had. Yeah, it was much more serious. Marlon also forgot all he learned from the previous movie. It seems.
apparently.
But it was with a lot of snide comments about like just forget like you'd always do. It's what you're best at, Dory.
Yeah,
fuck
there was,
off,
I was
Marlon.
a lot of times like, damn, Marlon, what the hell, bro?
To be fair, he almost lost it. He
That's
came very
true.
close to
That's
losing
true.
his son.
I get you're
That's
in a
true.
predicament, and like
just,
this,
like, going on
this
adventures
idiot
with
is
Dory again. Yeah,
endangering
you're
your
right.
child. But holy shit, man!
I mean, they were pretty close to the beak. I mean,
Yeah.
I was like, I'd be like, I understand where he's coming from.
She'll be like, "Hi, I'm Dory. I suffer from short-term memory loss," and they'll be like, "Oh, okay. Do you need any help?" Like it's almost very
Oh
realistic.
yeah, there was a lot of
Yeah.
that. All
It's
the fish were like,
yeah.
"Oh, do you need
Do you need help? I can't help
Like-
you if you don't tell me what you forgot.
Like the first movie, it was like,
Right,
"Oh,
right,
I
right.
suffer from short-term memory loss." I think the first time she says it, it's the butt of a joke
Mhm.
because they're trying to follow the boat, and she thinks that he's following her now.
Yeah, yeah.
And she tells him off, and he's like, "Oh, what's going on?" And she's like, "Oh, I suffer from short-term memory loss." And it's like, womp womp. But in this one, it opens up with her as like a little baby fish, and it's like, "I suffer from short-term memory loss. I'm sorry, I forget things, mommy and
Yeah,
daddy."
like,
And it's
"Oh,
like,
we love
oh,
you just
this
the
is
same.
this is heartbreaking. This
Yeah.
is real.
Because you
So
you-
like a comic relief like joke type of situation from the first
Becomes-
movie
Turn into
became
something else.
something
it
very
turned
serious.
into the focus.
You're
of
going
the
to feel
movie.
bad for laughing at this.
Yeah, it turned into the focus of the movie, and it's it's like relevant now more than ever, considering like how
The
much
climate.
more mental illness is in the
Yeah.
public light.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to
That's
say.
kind of nice though how they did that because it's like more eye opening.
Yeah.
Maybe that's
Yeah.
good.
Do you think that's
Yeah.
kind of like what, like with the Inside Out and this kind of thing? You think that's the kind of theme that they're trying to hit, like make people aware?
It
of this
seemed
mental
like
illness?
mental illness and like the importance of accepting and
Mhm.
like trying to help and not trying to just put them
And
down.
the Aesop Dory learns that like she learns to trust herself too.
Mhm.
Like what would Dory do?
She learns
That
to
little
believe in
thing. She
herself.
learns to believe in herself and that she can do good things too, and that she does amazing things in her own way.
Mm.
I
And I
thought
thought it
that's all really relevant.
Adding to that, I thought it was like really nice when like she was trying to go in that little sewage thing where she had a flashback and those two little crabs were like, "You can do it."
Yeah.
And, like the other guy
You
was like
can
cutting
do
his like
it.
grass,
Yeah.
and she's like, "Oh honey, don't worry about it. You can do it." And then you're just lost, and then he's like, "Where should I go?" And she's like, "Make 2 lefts and a right."
Uh-huh.
That part.
Yeah.
That's the thing too. You watch the first Finding Nemo, and there's lots of jerk ass fish in the
That's
scene.
true.
Yeah.
Actually,
There's the part where he's swimming around like, "Can you find my son?" And everybody's just like, "I got out of the way." All right.
Well, yeah.
You would think that with so many like fish and mammals in captivity, they would be like mean and like angry that they're in captivity.
Yeah.
But everyone was so nice.
brothers
Everyone's
in
like-
captivity.
This was the gated community of the fish world.
Yeah,
It's very
yeah.
pleasant.
The open ocean is the bad one. Everybody was just like, "Fuck off,
It's
Dory.
the
We
rough
don't care."
seas.
It's the
Yeah.
Wild West.
But in the first one, it's also Marlin, like this grumpy character dealing
Maybe
with the world.
Dory
And
is
this one,
true,
it's
too.
Dory.
It is true.
Dory's
Maybe
much
Dory's
more
more
reasonable.
sympathetic.
There were
That's a very good point.
There were a few instances though when she would like ask people and they'd be like, "Don't ever talk to me or my son again." There's a couple instances of that.
But going back to what Mark was saying, like you could see, I remember when like it almost seemed like the moment when the parents realized like, okay, this isn't just like, oh, she forgot something. Like we are dealing
yeah.
with a very real mental issue, and
It's like that.
you could see like not really the sadness in their faces, but like
You
they
could-
realize what they need to do.
Right, there's a
what
result,
needs to
that
be
parental
done.
resolve to
Yeah.
be like, okay, this is our child and we're gonna raise it. It's
Yeah.
almost like when
The
you
frustration.
realize like, well, my child might be autistic,
Mhm.
and then you deal with it,
Yeah.
and you still love them the same, but it's gonna be a whole different
Yeah.
journey.
It's the
It's
the
gonna be-
pain.
I love that. I
It's the
love
pain
that.
and sadness, not
No, that
because
actually
like,
is
oh,
good.
my kid has this problem and I got to deal with it. It's that my kid has this problem and they have to deal
Yeah,
with
and
it.
they have to deal with it.
Mm.
Like
It's
they
that
won't be able to
empathetic
take.
kind
They
of
won't be able to take
sadness.
care of themselves. Like
Yeah.
when, that
I
moment
like
when
reaching that.
when Dory finds her mom crying about it, and like that's a very real moment. That's what
Yeah.
parents
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
Like it's,
Behind
they're
closed
not
doors,
crying
most
that
definitely.
they're not crying that like, oh my god, my
Such
kid
a burden.
is like, God, I just want to like watch some TV by myself. Like no, like when your kid has autism, like you're just like, how is he gonna survive when I'm gone?
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
What's gonna happen?
And there's even that moment during the ridiculous climax where like they're going to execute the absurd, convoluted plan to rescue everyone,
Yeah.
and her parents are just like, wait.
They're still stuck in that old
You know,
mode.
like we just lost you. You know,
We
we
just
we,
found
we,
you.
was
ju-
just
we
about
just
to
got
say
you
that.
back.
Mhm.
You've been lost for like, I feel like 20 years maybe. That seems like a good estimate.
Right.
Like,
That's another callback to
What
the
if-
old film too.
what
Yeah.
if you get lost? Like,
I
yeah,
thought
that
that
is
was
a good
unrealistic.
callback.
Yeah.
I
That is
thought
a
that
good
was
callback,
unrealistic.
but-
Like,
Really?
yeah, like if you had, like you know your daughter had like some mental illness,
Mm.
she just found her way back, and you're just gonna be okay with her going to find these 2 guys she said like helped her a lot.
Mm.
And they approach it in a very like
Nonchalant, like
like
just
in a very like, we're your parents and we're bringing this up because we're concerned about you kind of way. Like
Yeah.
they're not like, you're gonna forget, you idiot. They're like sweetie, are you sure? Because you just got back, and you know, what if you got lost?
Yeah.
You know, like you could tell that they're not
They're very
trying to put her down,
very
but they're
concerned.
But see,
they're
like,
concerned
Pixar-
and scared. For their
Pixar like
child.
was put in a difficult position because to be able to get
That's
to her
real.
parents, she needed Nemo and Marlin. But
Yeah.
then like when she finds her parents, she has to leave them to go back for them.
Well,
Yeah.
Dory's
So-
also not the same that they it's not the same kid that they left.
Yeah.
This is
No.
she has done
She's
such
evolved. She's
amazing
evolved.
things.
They
and
give
she's
her
able
some
to be
agency in this
self-sustained.
one.
Mhm.
She's able to be self-sufficient.
Which
and do
actually-
these courageous things.
Actually, wait a minute now.
I don't know about self-sufficient.
I
but
just
Yes, she is.
thought for a second
if
like,
she was
oh,
out all alone without anyone.
She managed
Well,
it
all
for
right,
like
right. She
her entire.
she is high functioning. High functioning.
it just dawned on me. She was kind of the most like, what's the word I'm looking for?
Spitball some stuff. Will help. You.
Has agency. The most.
She takes control of her life.
The most, I guess for lack of a better word,
Strong.
useful. She was like the most useful character in the first Finding Nemo.
She's-
Like she could read.
That's
and
true. She could speak
could
whale.
speak-
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
She
true.
she saved stuff like, honestly, mostly by coincidence, but very
Marlon
much a
would've been-
savant.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And it just dawned on me that her having agency in this one is not exactly a new development.
I thought a lot of parts were just like, to me it was like BS. I know it's like entertainment, but like Marlin and Nemo leaving the tank, like those little waterfalls, like
Oh,
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was
Yeah.
just very, like, all right, like, how is this, like, possible? Like,
It's goofy.
I know I'm not trying to use logic when I watch these movies, but,
Yeah.
like, to, like, some point, like, I
There-
want to be...
there gets to a point where you're just like, okay, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
I-
I have to, like, as much as funny as this
Exactly.
climax scene was,
It was a little silly.
it was just like, all right, guys, this is beyond ridiculous.
shall we
Yeah.
Before
describe it?
we
So-
get to the climax,
Go ahead, Mark.
there's
go ahead.
something that I actually wanted to bring up that ties into that whole jumping fountain scene.
Mhm.
That was one thing that I was not totally sold on, that I was not super crazy about with this movie. Not that scene, but the whole kind of message where, from that scene onward, it becomes kind of like a, like, what would Dory do? Like, don't think about it, just do it. And it's like, that seems like a very generic, if not ill-advised message for a children's movie.
YOLO.
Like, don't
Yeah,
ever
it's
think
kinda
about
YOLO.
things. If you're in a life-threatening situation, don't think, or like,
Look at what's shiny and go from there.
I agree. I think that
it doesn't feel like a Pixar movie.
I think the idea is to say like, oh, you should do things your own way, and that you shouldn't feel bad
There's-
about it.
there's
That's the
merit.
idea.
Uh-huh.
But the thing
They
is,
didn't
for
convey it
kids,
that
it's
well.
kind of hard to grasp that.
Right.
So they're just like, oh, I'll do what Dory does, and Dory just does whatever.
Dory-
and what she's
Dory-
doing.
so
Dory
I'm gonna go
survives
there.
in this because she has friends who are way smarter than she
Yeah.
is.
And she's
Like,
incredibly lucky.
she's very lucky.
Like,
Like,
that's a skill.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, you look at some of the morals that Pixar movies have, like, Toy Story 3, sometimes you have to grow up, Monsters University, you know what? Not everybody can be everything they want to be,
Uh-huh.
Stuff like. But then you have this one. It feels like a more Pixar moral would be like, well, sometimes it's good to be afraid and take a sensible inventory of your situation. But other times it is best to just throw caution to the wind and go with your gut.
Do you think maybe it was like,
But
don't
this, it
worry
was all
about
one
things
way.
as much?
Say that again.
Yeah.
Ray?
Do you think it was more like, don't worry about things so... I mean,
I
that was one... I think that was one instance of, like, messages. That was, like, the
Yeah.
Marlin arc, and then the other major message is, like not just do it, but more like,
I think
do
it-
you.
I think
like,
it was
I feel
it
that's
was an
what they were
attempt-
going for.
It was an attempt
but-
to be like Dory can do things in her own way. Dory
Yeah.
has a way of accomplishing stuff,
Yeah.
but it's in a way that other people can't or are not doing.
She does
Yeah,
it her
like-
own way. She doesn't do the normal way, and that's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the attempt. I think.
I feel like that's good. That's a good message, but I feel like it wasn't as rounded out or as
right.
fleshed out as it could.
I can agree with that.
Okay, now we can talk about
Wait,
the
before we get to the climax, I
Oh,
also want to talk about one other scene that I thought was really good. Was when Nemo and Marlin were in that fish tank with the fake fish. They had a character moment where Nemo's just like, "Dad, you're a dick."
Yeah, yeah.
Like literally.
Fuck you. Dad.
But that was good because we also see that even though it was a manufactured arc for Marlin, it
Yeah.
does show Nemo like standing up to his dad more,
Right.
and calling him out on his BS like that.
Nemo's all grown up. Nemo's gonna be
Yeah.
a great guy. He's a great
Nemo's
guy.
just like, "What the hell, Dad? like stop being a dick. Like,
Mhm.
come on." But
He would not let that go.
and credit to Marlon too. He did own up to his mistake. Like he's like, it's my fault. Like
Yeah.
I'm the one that made her like go away because I was so mad.
Uh-huh.
So credit to Marlon too. He owned up to his mistake.
I think there's... I mean, also I would like to bring up the chemistry between the octopus and Dory.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I thought that was pretty good.
They had a very nice arc. They had Ellen DeGeneres and Ed O'Neill have amazing chemistry with each other.
Yeah, they had really good chemistry, and you could see like the change that happens throughout the film. As you said, it's a very good arc, and I also think they had some of the best comedic moments together
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Every time that
straight
octopus
man
was on
from,
screen, I knew I was in for a good time.
Yeah,
That
I think-
octopus with those seals.
Yeah.
Wait, sorry.
Go ahead.
Two amateur questions. First, who's the voice of Marlin?
I
Oh, it was
Albert Brooks.
Brooks.
Albert Brooks.
Albert
Brooks. Okay.
Hank Scorpio.
And two, what's an arc? When you...
Arc is
Like
is
a
the
story.
the story of the character going from one place to another.
Oh,
like
okay.
how they
Yeah,
evolve
like,
from the beginning
Luke,
of the story.
Luke is
to
a
the
farm
end.
boy, and now he's a fighter pilot, and now he's a Jedi.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
So let's talk about this climax,
This
guys. Because it was
climax.
ridiculous.
This
It
climax.
was great, but it was silly.
Yeah.
Like,
kinda like
people
the-
look at like the Toy Story movies and they're like, "Man, that climax was nuts." People didn't notice those toys walking around and doing shit.
Well, before we get the climax, there was stuff that happens in this movie. Like, how did people not notice that?
Like
There's
the octopus in the
tentacles
baby
moving
carriage,
a
yeah.
stroller.
This movie, like Finding Nemo.
It played on that a lot.
Finding Nemo was pretty reserved. There were some suspension
yes.
of disbelief moments,
But the thing is, it
like
was-
them pushing the bags and
Yeah.
them flying around in the Pelican.
It was mostly
This one turns into a bit of a
Finding
cartoon.
Nemo's mostly in the ocean, so it's not like we were there to see it.
Yeah.
So okay, but
It's like, sure.
All the
Why
dentist
not?
moments were fine for me.
They all surf around on turtle shells. Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
This movie gets pretty cartoonish at times.
Yeah.
they jumped.
Which
the
is
shark.
not a bad
They
thing.
really did.
They really
the shark
jumped.
I thought it was. I thought it was funny.
The shark jumped the Great Wall, bro.
Shark literally jumped the wall.
Yeah, exactly. The movie jumped the shark. Once the shark jumped.
All I could think when they escaped from the aquarium, when the beluga whale and the whale shark just leap over their walls, all I could think was like looking at, like, what if this happened at SeaWorld? I'd be like, oh, that's so tragic. Those animals, are they even acclimated to that water temperature? Is the salinization proper? Are they just gonna die now that they're outside of there?
Nobody even noticed.
They're gonna
Nobody
have to-
even noticed that these two whales were gone.
Yeah, yeah.
No one noticed they jumped out of their tank.
To be fair, it was early.
People around. They got people on watch.
That was the other thing. As someone who has owned fish that kept needling me, I was like, I sure hope they landed in salt water. They didn't land in salt water.
That's
They're in
true.
for a bad time.
Oh,
they're
there
gonna
could have
die
been
in
different
agony.
environments
They're
and
gonna
biomes.
swell up like a balloon and die.
That is one thing that kept happening. They just conspicuously landed, and
They can land in whatever water they want.
Yeah.
It works fine.
Yeah.
And they always have something to land.
Okay,
in.
so here's what happens in
Always.
the climax.
There's always a ravine.
Basically, Dory goes to rescue Marlin and Nemo because they're on their way to an aquarium in Cleveland on a truck.
Yeah,
and
which
she
is
gets
landlocked.
Truck to the Cleveland.
yeah, and we get to this truck by a bridge by launching Dory into a highway, having otters stop traffic.
'Cause they're cute.
So that they can
Right.
somehow raid the truck. Because apparently otters know how to operate locks and open doors of trucks.
I think they have thumbs, don't they?
Otters can also listen to fish. They can speak fish.
Yeah, that too apparently. So that happens, and then somehow the truck starts moving again, but Dory and all them are still in the truck. So they have to figure out how to get back to the ocean. So what Hank and Dory decide to do is to potentially cause the truck to crash, get the two drivers out, then leave them stranded, and then drive the truck themselves back to the ocean.
The
Back to the
octopus drives the car and does not hit anyone or anything.
Yeah,
until it
Dory
crashes in
is the
ocean.
navigator because he can't see.
Yeah, he can't see. I mean that like the otters stopped the entire. This is like a bridge, I guess.
Yes.
And the otters, they waddled up to the road, and they stared with their cute otter eyes
And then they
into the
cuddled.
oncoming trucks and cuddled a bit because they think that their cuteness will stop
Aww.
oncoming traffic. Now, even if that works for the first car, the car behind them, it might just keep going. And then so on and so on. There's like a high chance of something going wrong.
Six
I felt
people
like that whole
dead,
bridge
and
would
I'm
be
barely
blew up.
alive.
Because of those otters.
I thought it was all gonna blow up. It would've
You know how many people could have died in that
People could've
climax?
died.
A lot of people could have died. I mean,
Cops have their guns drawn.
Oh yeah,
So yeah, the
Did
cops
anybody else notice this? Because I saw this for like a split second and I felt like I was going insane. In the What a Wonderful World shot where everything's in slow motion,
Yeah.
Louis Armstrong is crooning away as the truck's sailing through the air. There's a shot of the cops like looking up in disbelief. Did anybody else catch there was one cop in like the background that was
Rolled
just
over?
that was
Yep.
just
Yeah.
rolling around on the ground?
Yeah, I
for
don't know
no
what's
reason.
going on with
Yeah,
them.
I don't
What was
know
going
why.
on with that? What?
That's really scary. What was
I just
that?
wanted to make sure everybody else saw that. And
I think maybe
He was facing
getting
the
in
other way,
position.
ready to shoot, and like he went
he was
this way.
doing a tactical roll. To
Which,
take it.
which is what I don't understand because they're on the road and then all of a sudden they come out through this like forest.
They
did-
went off.
So basically, what we learned today is that
Octopuses
octopi
drive
can
cars.
hijack trucks.
They have the arms for it. They can handle a lot of it.
Wait, also, I'm not sure. Like, I might not be familiar with octopi that well, but can they survive outside of water that long?
Yeah, I
They're
mean, he kept going
pretty
back
much.
in, but yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
can survive.
they could be out of water for
So
a
long
while.
as they're moist.
Okay.
Can't they fit into very small holes?
Oh,
They
yeah,
can,
they
too.
Oh no, they can fit into
I'm
like
surprised they
holes the
didn't
size
come
of
up at all.
quarters.
That's
did.
the one thing when he was like, I can't fit in that
Yeah.
tube. It's like bullshit. You
I
have
noticed
no
that too.
bones.
He was just lazy.
Yeah.
You have no bones.
That actually would have been a pretty good joke if they were if she kept throwing facts about his own
that would
biology.
be
at him.
great.
I almost
About
wish
his
that
own
was a running
species.
gag because
I
she
was-
pulls out the heart thing.
I was kind of like annoyed how like they had to point out to the octopus that he could like leave the truck through the vent on the
Yeah,
ceiling. Like that should have been your first option if you can't open the fucking door.
I mean, they don't know that this stuff exists.
That was a
He
little.
literally-
Literally,
new environment.
all he literally had to do was look up.
Yeah.
I mean,
I guess he was looking up.
I'm sorry.
That's the other
can we
theme.
curse?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
That's the other theme of like
This is a Christian podcast.
There's always
I'm
another
sorry.
way. Or whatever.
Sponsored by ChristianMingles.com.
Christian Mingles. Cut it.
Mingle today.
Oh, Chris is still signed up on FarmersOnly.com.
Wait, we're not actually sponsored by Christian
We're
Mingle.
not. We're not
No, we're
sponsored.
not.
Yeah.
No, we're not. Sorry.
No, sorry, it's actually the Black People Meet.
No.
Anyway.
Check out our
Did
profiles
we sign up
on
either for
Jake.
Black people?
No. Okay.
Why do you do that?
Do I have to? All right, fine. Chris signed me up for FarmersOnly.com, so I signed him up for BlackPeopleMeet.com, and he's interested in 40-year-old males. So he got a couple emails, and he wasn't happy about it. And then,
Farmers only meaning like dating farmers.
yeah, I got a bunch
Aw,
of matches
That's
in
so
Iowa.
cute.
Oh, Austin. Anyway, so what do you guys think? Were there any other like utterly ridiculous moments you think? I mean, echolocation for Miles, obviously.
Would it even work outside of water?
No,
Yeah.
not
the same
that
way,
way,
the
not that
same
far
way.
away.
No.
Little, it would like a bat, but not to that degree.
Wait, were those two characters like dating? Why were
No,
they always together?
They were just
they're
friends.
neighbors.
They're
Oh,
neighbors.
okay.
Yeah, they're
There's
neighbors.
one thing that bugged me a little bit. It didn't bug me, but just Sweet D hitting her head on the wall every like 5 minutes. I was like, that's a whale shark. That's a small tank. She's bashing her head. That's bad.
She's gonna
for
get
the
a
animal.
concussion, man.
Actually, yeah, that was way too small tank for a whale shark.
Yeah.
That's really bad for the animal. If this was a Marine Institute, they would fix that.
Yeah.
I love the Sigourney Weaver cameo.
Sigourney Weaver, that I laughed every single time that came up.
Just like hello. Oh yeah, Dory, because it was first introduced when Dory's like hello, anybody, and then she goes, and then you
Hello.
hear hello. Oh hello, I'm Sigourney Weaver. What?
That honestly, that might have been my favorite joke in the movie. That killed me every single time it came up.
It was definitely pretty funny.
Oh my
And then in the
God.
credits, it's just Sigourney Weaver as Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah, it was great.
So I don't really. Oh, one other thing I want to bring up, man. Like, especially after Inside Out, Pixar, they really know how to do like parents, like really, really well.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Okay.
a studio probably full
Yeah.
of parents. and
Pixar
stuff.
is a
True.
studio made up of parents.
Like I remember, and we talked about this a lot in our discussions about Inside Out. But like Riley's parents were like perfect.
Yeah.
like,
Almost too perfect.
yeah.
Why? What do you mean?
they were
like,
too real.
They like no, they
acted how
were
parents
so
would.
supportive. Like they didn't really get mad. Like
Mm-hmm.
they
were
had
the
like
ideal
no
parents.
faults.
Even when they got mad, it was that understandable like parents kind of.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
And then in this film too, when you see Dory's parents and how understanding they are of what their daughter is going through and how much they love her still and want to
Yeah.
help her, and like I want to say I found it heartbreaking, but like
That shot of the shells hit me.
yeah, that shot of the
When
shells
when she
everything
finally
connect-
finds them.
yeah,
'cause
I was like,
For anybody who refuses to see this movie for whatever reason, there's a whole theme of shells.
mhm.
This little baby Dory likes shells. She likes shells. So her parents play games with her involving shells, like find the shell. It's like an Easter egg hunt, and what they do is to help her find her way home. They put shells in like a little Hansel and Gretel breadcrumb trail back to their house. So she'll automatically go to the shell because she likes shells. So even if she forgets where her house is, she'll go ooh piece of candy, and eventually find her way back to her house.
Yeah.
In Finding Nemo, when Nemo finally finds Marlin, there was like a good like warm
That-
feeling I had.
Yeah.
In this movie, because she had to go back for Nemo and Marlin, I never got that warm feeling.
When she finds her parents, you
I
still
s-
have that tension. in the back of
I
your
understand
head.
what you mean because I feel like
There wasn't closure for me at that moment. Like
I get. You know what? Actually, I totally. I
It
kind
wasn't
of
the
agree with you.
payoff moment.
Because
It wasn't
Yeah.
the,
it should have been
wasn't
the
the
payoff
moment.
moment.
It should have.
It was.
should've
It
been.
It
was
should have been
the-
that moment that we've all been waiting
Like,
for.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It was just like, oh, I
Like,
found you guys,
that's great.
but I gotta go save them.
Yeah.
It's no, but it's not even like that. It's like she finds them and they have like a little like 5-minute reunion, and the whole time I'm sitting there like, oh, that's sweet. They're in the truck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the truck screwed them over.
They're taking their sweet ass time loading that
just
truck.
forgets.
You've been down here for like a half hour. But no, but that one, what happens with the shells is eventually all seems lost and things seem very dire. So she's trying to take an inventory of her surroundings and calm herself down, and she happens to see a shell. She goes
Wait,
up.
actually, let me take that back.
Yeah.
In the beginning, in the beginning,
Sandbaggers.
when she gets to the shells and she's following the shells and
Yeah.
like they show all these flashbacks.
Yeah.
Was that shown in the beginning?
Yes.
Yes.
That's
Okay,
actually how the movie
That's
goes.
why. Because that flashback, I thought it was just she's getting there and she suddenly remembers her childhood.
Oh yeah, no, the shell shit in the flashbacks was in the whole
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Flashbacks in general are
Because I can tell
Yeah,
that's
there's
the
a lot
part
of
that hit you
flashbacks.
guys, and that didn't hit me.
But no, that's the thing. And like she goes down, she sees the shell, and then she sees another one. And by this point, you kind of understand, like, what's gonna happen. But then it zooms out, and you see like a little fish house, whatever that was,
Pretty dingy.
and there's just trails of shells going off in every direction.
Right.
With the implication being that ever since she was lost, they spent every day putting shells out as
Farther
far
and
as they could
farther.
go into the ocean so that she would find them and find her way out.
So
Like
sad.
that was a powerful.
That's tragic.
Yeah.
That was a
Yeah.
takeaway image.
That
was-
is like shows her devotion and love.
This
for,
this creepy, dingy kelp forest.
Not a friendly place.
They're not a friendly
Yeah.
place. They're spending all their time there. It's dark,
Mm.
but it's right outside the aquarium where they think that she got lost.
Yeah.
So they kept doing it for miles and miles. I'm sure.
You know, I when I first saw that happen, like she was going into the house looked abandoned,
Mm.
and then
It did look abandoned.
She turned around and then she saw two figures. I was like, holy crap! Like this is like where they're gonna hit the mental health thing. Like these guys are gonna be hallucinations. That's what I thought.
Kill them all, Dory.
I thought I was like, and that's gonna be like really sad. Like she's like, oh, my parents are here, and they're gonna
Oh
like,
no.
and then she like finds Marlon or
oh,
whatever,
that would have been
and
great.
then they're like,
that would have been great.
and then she's like, oh, where? And then like,
It's like
Nobody's
they
here.
are your family. You know. Oh. Wow.
oh, that would have,
Oh, that would have been good.
Oh!
Because that's the thing. I totally called it where it's like I was like, this is too clean. There's no way she could just get to this institute and get to the proper tank and there they are. There's no way that's
Yeah,
how this
it's
ends.
way too easy.
I'm thinking like she's been gone for so long. They're fucking dead. Fish don't.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was
Fish,
thinking too.
unless they're like a goldfish. Fish don't live that long. They're fucking dead. You know, and I'm like, that's going to be the emotional gut punch of this movie. She's going to get there and be like, oh, where are they? And they're going to be like, Dory, they fucking died like years ago.
Mhm.
You know, and this whole thing was for nothing. That's what's going to happen. And they do that, but it's not, oh, they died. It's, well, we're pretty sure they're dead. And then she just finds them later. There was a lot of misdirection in this. It was kind of like a road trip movie in that every
That's why I
step
was
towards
saying, like, it was so like,
every step towards the goal, you have to take a new detour.
yeah, it was so choppy for me.
Which is it's part of the I don't want to say genre, but I guess like type of movie that this is.
Yeah.
With the whole like escalation of the situation, but
Would you guys think that would have been a better ending? The ending Jake
where
mentioned?
they are hallucinations,
Yeah.
and then she realized, oh, this is my family.
I actually like
You
that.
mean
I
Marlon
don't-
and Nemo?
maybe
No.
not make them hallucinations. Maybe just make it the shadows, like, and then it's Marlon and Nemo show up. But
I mean, that could. I
Or
could see
some-
they
how
would have
that-
had to rework the
I
climax.
can see how that
but-
could be effective, but I also think like finding her parents and like the acceptance and all that.
Yeah,
I think
that-
And
It
it
would've
would
been-
have been an
a
hour
lot
and
less
15-minute
sweet.
movie.
because I think the really
It would've been too ballsy.
The very powerful scene too in the reunion is when Dory's like, "I'm sorry, like it's my fault, like I'm such
Yeah.
an idiot." Like she's realizing how much of herself is the problem, and then like her parents of course encourage her, and then she realizes, "No, I'm not actually the problem."
No,
Stuff like that.
but that could have been done.
I
with,
am
like,
the problem, but I'm not the problem.
That could have been done with it. What I'm thinking
It's
is like
not
within her
me.
head, like these are just like this is her trying to cope.
Yeah.
And like these parents come, you know,
No,
because
I
it is a
agree.
self-actual realization.
I
With
agree
this
that
ending,
it
we're
could've
really
been done.
focusing on her mental illness
Yeah.
itself. Yeah.
That's the theme I like a lot for this.
So, Evan, you haven't said anything. Well, is there anything that resonated with you, or anything you want to comment on the film?
I really liked how they made Dory sympathetic in this movie.
Did you like her? Like you didn't like her in the previous film.
No.
Did you like her
Yeah.
more like in this
Did
film?
that change?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, she was a lot more. The thing about Pixar is they could make basically anyone or anything likable or sympathetic in some way, and they did it with Dory. I mean, they had to. She's the main character. But yeah, I really thought it was cool how they focused on like the mental like health aspect. It was a really good way to like bring it to like an audience who perhaps may not know what parents with children who have mental illnesses go through, and it definitely shines a light on like a very real problem that probably needs to be addressed more. Can I bring up something?
Yes, go ahead.
Can we talk about the lesbian couple?
What?
Lesbian
Which
couple.
one? Lesbian couple.
What movie did you watch?
That part where the part when the octopus posed as a horrifying like burn victim baby,
Oh yeah.
and they turn around and they're like, "Oh, here's your sippy cup," and they're like, "Oh God."
Oh
It
yeah,
was-
I
that
remember
was a
controversy
lesbian
about that
couple.
actually.
Yeah.
Why does it? Why does that matter? Ellen DeGeneres is a lesbian.
Ellen-
I know
Yeah,
that's
Ellen
the thing.
DeGeneres.
That's,
That's
that's,
the whole-
what,
that's
what
the
people
grand
pointed out.
irony of
That's
it.
what people pointed out. They're like, you're
Um,
watching a movie with an actress who is known to be a lesbian. You can't really.
Fish can't be gay.
Wait, going back to what Evan
No,
said
these are
about
people.
the parents like being able to like
see the mental illness part. That's really good how Pixar did that, because like the parents are getting something out of this movie while they're bringing their kids to watch it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like we're in that age range where we can pick up what the parents are seeing as well as what our nostalgic pasts are seeing.
That's true.
But like for parents, it's more of that. And then
Yeah.
for the kids, it's more of, what
They're
Pixar.
hitting two different
forefront
demographics.
Pixar's always done that.
Yeah, that's what Pixar is usually about.
Yeah.
So throughout this film, right, I thought they were going to take us in the direction, I thought they were going to do some sort of commentary on, like fish captivity or something like that, like the cruelty of it, but it didn't go in that direction. That's okay.
Oh, this was originally the movie originally took place at like not a marine institute, but like a SeaWorld type place.
Oh.
But then the directors watched Blackfish and decided to go back and change that.
Okay. I mean, with good reason. Blackfish kind of, like, they...
I've not seen it, but I've heard many mixed things about it.
I mean, basically, like whatever was said in that film, like, there's no point in trying to retread it, I think. But anyway, that being said, even though the topic of mental illness, I think, is very, very deep, and, like, the message of the film is in being, oh, you should do things your own way and stuff like that, I find myself, when comparing this to other Pixar films, to not be as deep. To not be as...
I agree.
emotional.
Totally
I
agree.
agree.
Yeah.
100%.
How did it compare to The Good Dinosaur? Same?
Well, The Good Dinosaur, I don't know. I didn't really read into The Good Dinosaur that much.
No?
The Good Dinosaur was really straightforward.
Good Dinosaur was very, very straightforward. I liked it a whole lot, but it was not necessarily a profound film.
Yes.
It was ballsy and it took a lot of risks, but it didn't have a deep intellectual message behind it like a lot of other Pixar movies.
Like compared to, say, like, what I personally think are the Pixar movies that have the most to say, things like Inside Out, things like Up, things like Monsters Inc. or Monsters University. I think those all have very, very powerful messages, especially for kids. But for this movie, as much as I do think it's a powerful message, I didn't find myself emotionally connected, nor did I think it was as deep as the other ones. What do you guys think?
Agreed.
It was
But
like,
it didn't detract from me.
It
didn't
could
detract.
It could have been a Minions movie,
Yeah.
but it
Could've
was
been a Minions
because
movie.
that's what it is. You take the comedic characters and then you give them their own film.
Okay, yeah.
It could have been a Minions movie, but it wasn't.
This is to me a movie where this was a great movie, but it wasn't.
A great Pixar.
It wasn't
kind of thing.
one of Pixar's, like, absolute best. It wasn't like a Cars 2 bad or even a Cars 1
at all.
bad. Not at all. Not even close.
Cars one wasn't that.
But
bad.
Cars
this-
1 isn't even really that
yeah,
bad.
it
It's
is-
cozy as hell.
It is not their, like, one of their best, knocking it out of the park. Like, Pixar is back.
It didn't
You
hit
know?
it hit as many notes
Yeah.
as they could have done, but the notes that they did hit were great.
It wasn't
Like-
as great as it could have been. I should
Yeah,
say.
like whenever Pixar makes a sequel, like there are some things where you can make a sequel, like, and have no questions asked. Like Incredibles 2, fine, I'm sold, perfect.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
You know, Incredibles ended on a cliffhanger. It implied that the story would go on. So sure, great. Let's make another one. Finding Nemo was a completely wrapped up story. There was nowhere else to go with that. So when you introduce a movie like this, my mindset is like, all right, you need to prove to me why this movie had to be made now.
Do you
Like-
think it kind of ruined your whole perception of Finding Nemo by making this movie?
No.
And
I think
Did
it
it
enhanced
help?
it a little
I
bit
think it
because
enhanced it more.
it gave
I have more
Dory a little bit
appreciation.
more
That's true.
characterization
Going
beyond
back, it'll be
comedic
better.
relief. The only thing is like, for instance, it was the same thing with Monsters University too, because like Monsters Inc. was a movie that, you know, very tight little package, you know,
Yep.
did not need anything added
Yeah.
onto it. So when it's like, okay, we're gonna get Monsters University, they're in college, it's a prequel, we're gonna see how Mike and Sully met up, and it's like, okay, well that's not something we need to see. Your job now is to justify this film existing by giving us something good and interesting.
And it did.
And I feel like Monsters University really did. It had a really cool message, and
But
it did a
this
lot
you
of
don't
things
think did
differently.
that?
This one, I feel it justified its existence by being good,
It's like DLC.
and that's all it did.
Oh,
That's a good way to
This,
like
this is like, all right, I'm not offended by this movie existing. This
Yeah.
is a pleasant little time.
I
That's
see.
all it is.
I see.
It hit some interesting points. You know, it fleshes out some characters that we liked. You know, it gives us a couple of chuckles.
If you want to see some more Finding Nemo,
yeah.
You want
DLC.
something? You want something
DLC,
pretty?
baby.
It was like an extra short story
Yeah.
attached to
So
Finding
do you
Nemo.
guys think this is like
Episode
something
2.
like Pixar's not putting all their time and energy to? It's something like they're doing in the back room while they're.
Well, I
No,
know
no,
that
no.
I didn't
think
get
so.
that impression.
there were. I feel like this might not have been the A-team doing this one because
Really?
like
Animation is on point. Though.
animation was definitely
Well,
on
But
it's
point.
talking about
technology's
story
also-
one.
Right
Yeah.
now they got they're working on Incredibles 2, Toy Story 4,
Oh,
Coco.
wait, Toy Story 4 is gonna be a thing.
They're making Toy
Oh,
Story
no.
4.
Cars 3.
Cars 3.
Oh,
yeah,
they
it's
have the
it's,
movie about the Day
Coco.
of the Dead.
Coco, which
Yeah.
is the one about
So
the Day
I'm
of the Dead. So
excited.
they
I
got
wanna
4
see
things in the
Coco.
pipeline right now coming out
And
within
based
the
on my
next
records,
couple
the
of years.
vegetable movie.
And Sausage Party.
I really
of
want
course.
to see
And
it.
Ice Age 4 or whatever.
Ice Age 4. We should talk about trailers too.
No, well, let's finish
Just at the end of
first.
this, but,
Yeah.
but that's the thing. They've got a lot of projects going on, and I feel like Incredibles 2 is going to, obviously be amazing. It's Brad Bird. Toys-
No, Tomorrowland.
That was
Uh,
not too bad. It was just really preachy.
Brad Bird has never made a bad animated film.
Anyway, keep going.
But then you got like Toy Story 4. That's Toy Story, so of course they're gonna put their A-team on that because that has to be good. That is Pixar's golden boy.
Yeah.
Coco. That's a new thing, so who knows where that
Who
could
knows?
go.
I like the concept,
Yeah.
and it can't be
And then-
worse than Book of Life. So.
And Cars. Cars.
No,
Is it not good?
It's another movie about Day of the Dead.
Meanwhile, Cars has pretty much agreed. If you're an intern at Pixar, you go work on the Cars movies.
Oh shit.
That's where you
Shots.
go. That's where you go. All the people who have established themselves, they get to animate Buzz Lightyear. You get to go animate Larry the Cable Guy.
Go
and
work in
Dane,
the Cars,
and Dane
man.
Cook plane. You get to go do that.
But Mark, they said in an interview that Cars 3 will be very emotional. And
Maybe it will be.
You know what impressed me? Cars 2
haven't
had
seen-
Bruce Campbell get brutally murdered on screen. Give me
Yeah.
Cars 3 with an emotional center. I'll watch that shit. Impress me, Cars. Impress me.
Wait, was Planes Disney or Pixar?
It was Disney.
Disney.
Planes was Disney inspired by Pixar because
Okay.
Pixar is owned by Disney now.
Yeah. So, does anyone else have anything they want to bring up? Evan, you haven't really said too much, so is there anything that you want to touch on before
I'd
we
like to
go
watch.
to ratings?
Nope.
Okay, I didn't think the soundtrack was anything like super duper amazing.
No, it was
nice,
amazing,
but not
wholly
memorable.
forgettable.
But I did notice a very strange addition of, I don't know, I think it was either a violin or a viola. It reminded me of an RPG, like a JRPG specifically, the way it was handled. I'll probably like sample it a bit later, but it was really odd, like, because I don't usually see, it was just violin with some piano in the background, and it was like a Final Fantasy waiting room.
Dory falls into the whale shark tank and she's like, "Destiny is destiny."
All right, so I guess we'll just go around and start our ratings. We'll start with you, Nero, since you're the one that like. Okay, all right, we'll skip you since you only saw
Okay.
half of it. So go
Yeah,
ahead.
that's
Awesome.
true.
Yeah. Closing comments and your overall rating.
I really was inspired by this talk to say how the mental illness theme could have been milked a little more.
Mm-hmm.
Like you talked about how Dory's finding her parents' hut, like that hut that they
Yeah.
installed.
Yeah.
If it was handled differently, like let's say those dots that she saw coming, maybe they were like strange fish that she had no idea who they were, and she imposed her parents on them, and she starts hallucinating. That could be really good, like something like that, or what you talked about before. So there's potential for this movie that didn't get hit. Although, that being said, I had a lot of fun with it. I enjoyed it. I don't remember laughing this much in a Pixar movie in quite a while.
That fucking sunfish, man.
yeah, the Space Mambo.
Oh, yeah, Space Monkey. Oh, watch where you're going.
Where you're going?
That's just because of you.
Space
Yeah.
Mambo.
I loved it every time.
He's giggling right next to me. It was great.
Sunfish,
I
man.
forgot all about Space Mambo.
Space Mambo!
I forgot all about Space Mambo.
I still.
So
Oh, the realest of the OGs.
So while it didn't hit the entire symphony that the symphony of feels that Pixar usually employs, it did hit those laughs and that feel good that I enjoy. So I'm gonna give this movie an 8 out of 10.
Okay. All right, Evan, what about you?
I really like this movie. I thought it was a good and worthy addition to Finding Nemo. I thought like it introduced a lot of characters and they had a lot of big names. And I thought that they were all most of them were really interesting. The cast, Dory was really good. Everyone was basically really good. The plot was really straightforward, but I didn't really mind that. In terms of things that either I didn't like or kind of bothered me, like I said, the movie just kind of went through the motions a lot of times, and the climax I felt jumped the shark, and it just felt really rushed to me. It just felt like they wanted to like wrap this movie really neatly in this like feel good bow and just end it. And to me, that didn't really work in terms of like the rest of the movie. But that's just like. That's really the only problems I had with the movie. The pacing was fine. The animation was fucking gorgeous. That was a beautiful movie.
Immaculate.
Like, I remember that one scene where, like, Nemo and Marlin were, like, floating right above the surface, and you could see the reflections. Oh, my God, that was gorgeous. Honestly, I think that probably may be one of the strongest points of this movie. The animation was just spectacular. But anyways, I'm going to give this movie an 8 out of 10. No, my bad. I'm going to give this movie an 8.5 out of 10. It would have been a 9 if it had fixed like some parts with like how the movie resolved, but yeah, that's where I'm standing.
To clarify, we should also say that 5 out of 10 is an average for us. Don't think of it don't think of it as like the
Don't go
grading
school scale.
Yeah, don't go school scale. It's not like that.
Yeah, we're trying to get that.
All right, Mark, what you think, man? Closing comments and your rating.
I feel like this is pretty much like everybody else has been said. This is nothing special, but I had a fun time with it. I think it's an inoffensive little movie. It's the kind of sequel where you might get mad if you hear about it, like, oh, why are they making a Finding Nemo sequel? But you won't be mad watching it. You know, there's nothing to really hate or dislike here. If like 5 out of 10 is like perfectly average, I'd give this like, I don't know, 6.5, 7 out of 10. It was pretty good. Pretty good.
Okay. I think that this is one of those movies where if this was made by any other studio, everyone would be like, oh my God, this is great. But because it's Pixar, we have, I wouldn't say these absurd expectations, but we do have much higher expectations.
And our expectations wouldn't be nearly up there if Inside Out didn't come out.
Yeah.
This would just be par for the course for them nowadays.
Because Inside Out was definitely their return kind of thing.
Inside Out proved to the world, no, Pixar, we see you faking that gimp. You can still do this.
Yeah. Faking that gimp.
Like
get off the bench.
they like Pixar. Like, this is a good movie. Don't let anyone tell you this is a bad movie, because it's not. It might be a little convenient. It might be a little cartoony, and maybe like just not. I don't want to say serious, but there was not a lot of tension. Like, you didn't think anything seriously bad was going to happen.
Like, they're gonna find their way.
Yeah, there was no real sense of danger, but that's okay. Like, maybe for some other movies, I would say that really disturbed me, but I didn't really care for this one. It's a kids movie, and on top of that, it's fish. Like it's okay.
The ocean's a dangerous place.
The ocean is a dangerous
place. They could have
place.
died at any moment.
It was in the aquarium, though. Mostly.
Yeah, that's true.
So, actually, that's a good comparison to the first one. The first one, it was constant danger, but this one, it was kind of just constant, like, oh, well, they're not here, so we go there. But anyway, that's besides the point. I think that this is still a great movie, though. Not one of Pixar's best. This is definitely a worthy addition to the library, but it falls in the middle. And I think that Finding Nemo is still better, but this is a worthy continuation of the story and the characters. There's some great addition to characters, as people have already pointed out. The animation in this is immaculate. It is spectacular. The cinematography is amazing, off the charts. Just the dynamic reflections, refraction, bloom lighting, specularity, just all these different things that go into the movie. Just even the water physics, the way the characters move, everything looks very realistic. The textures, very, very good, very, very well done. And I think overall I would give, out of 10, most people said, an 8 out of 10. I would give this a full price. Not something that I think that's like super duper like bring everyone, this is a must see. Like, if you waited for a matinee or a rental, I'd be like, okay, like I can understand why, but definitely if you can, try and see this in the theater. How about you, Jake?
I mean, a lot has been said about it. I really enjoyed this film's.
It was also hilarious.
That too. Yeah, I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So fun. That was. I actually think as far as like Yeah, I think this is probably one of the films where I like chuckled throughout most of it. So that was definitely nice.
Yeah.
But I'm partial to that space mambo.
It's
But
so funny.
I couldn't help it.
Space Mambo.
Watch where you're going.
Watch where you're going. Even, like
That's gonna be a ringtone.
a note on that, like all the fish and like Finding Nemo were like assholes. They'd be like, "Watch where you're going." This
Yeah.
one was just like, "Watch where you're going." And that was like I like thinking that, like Mark discussed before, that this story hit a lot of the same notes as Finding Nemo, like in terms of like what happened. And I like thinking about it in terms of it is like the same story, but it's told from a Dory perspective. People are helpful. It's a bit more cartoony.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
And
I like that. Wow.
like what I mentioned it before, but now I kind of got the thought. Before in Finding Nemo, a lot of the fish were either dangerous or non-sentient, as with the whale. Well, the whale was kind of sentient, but it looked like a normal whale.
Can vocalize, yeah.
Yeah, and then you also had the anglerfish, which looked just like a normal fish. And in this one, like all the fish are like cartoony.
You're right.
The whale is like not a whale; it's just a cartoon. All the whales are cartoons, and it's like it's a goofier movie.
It's a bubblier world.
Yeah, bubbly
sure.
world. I like thinking about it.
Much
Like
more,
that's
much more happy.
saccharine.
Much more
Yeah,
happy.
like Dory.
That's from a Dory
Huh.
perspective. People are
Huh.
helpful. Things are like,
Yeah, and Marlin thinks everyone's dangerous, and everything
yeah,
was dangerous.
and it was in that, and that's it's dark and
Wow.
scary.
Shit,
There you
we
go,
have
man.
layers.
There you go, man.
There you go. There you
There you
go.
go.
Nice job. I like that. Very good analysis, man.
But I really like the Dory arc of her kind of like coming to terms with
There's
her.
a Dory arc, not a story arc.
The Dory arc. Yeah, baby. You bet. I like the Dory arc where she's coming to terms with her like self and kind of overcoming to a degree. There was one other thing that oh crap, I can't remember. It was
Just like
The
Dory.
D-Day scene.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah,
fucking
D-Day
D-Day
scene.
scene. Oh my god.
I forgot you were talking about the touch tank for a second. I was like, what the fuck? There's World War II in this? What?
Touch take scene. Oh, I just love the touch take scene so much. That starfish getting pulled away.
Turn back.
I had something else to say, but I can't remember it really that much. I'd say I enjoyed the film a lot, but again, it doesn't hit like the what do you call it? It doesn't hit like the Pixar the Pixar high
Mm.
that we've come to expect, and maybe that's because this movie was like maybe directed more at like younger kids.
It could be.
Could be.
It was one of those things where I definitely was not hit as hard as say when I watched Toy Story 3 or Inside Out
Yeah.
or Up, where like I was just like, God,
God, I think they've started.
I feel
to
like
do,
I just ate a plate of hot wings.
they like tailor their movies to like certain like audiences,
certain demographics.
Yeah, like Toy Story 3 was like it was for us because we
It was
kind
the
of grew
swan
up.
song.
It was for
Yeah.
us.
It was our movie.
Oh, it was
Same with
great.
Monsters University. That was for our
That was
kind of
also for
generation.
us.
And then like I guess and this one might have been for like the younger kids because it focused on that funny fish.
I wish we saw Zootopia together.
Zootopia? Did you see it?
I did.
I saw
I did
Zootopia.
not see Zootopia.
Alright.
I'm sorry.
Zootopia was good.
It was
really good,
Zootopia.
yeah.
Great.
Disney or Pixar?
This
Disney.
Disney.
That's Disney.
Okay.
I'm sorry, finish.
Incidentally, we got a Moana coming up from
Yeah.
them.
What's your rating?
Continue.
Yes.
Yeah. Continue your comments and then go to your rating.
Alright, I was trying to ramble to see if I remembered what I was going to say, but I couldn't filibuster long enough. It's gone like Dory.
It's gone like Dory.
But I think I'd give it I was waffling between 7.5 and 7.7, so I'll give it a 7.6. There you go.
Very nice.
I also want to give a shout out to Hank, by far the best new
Hank?
character. Hank, the
The
homie.
octopus.
The homie, the real
Good
G.
job.
Actually, my favorite scene with him is definitely when he was holding Dory over the deep ocean tank.
Yeah.
That was my favorite moment with them.
The
Yeah.
deep ocean tank.
When he's
Yeah.
like got her in the cup.
And the
he's
cup,
like,
Are you ready for
And-
this kind of thing?
yeah, and then
Oh.
Dory was just like, I'm never gonna forget you. And then he was like, oh, you'll forget me in 3 heartbeats. And he's like, but I don't think I'm gonna forget you. I was
Yeah.
like, that was good. That was very
Yeah,
good.
that
it
was
was
sweet.
It was very sweet.
And I also like when Marlon apologized to Dory too. That was good.
That was
Yeah.
deserved, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, Adam. Hank is good and all, but it's all about Becky with the good pail.
Yo,
with the good
Becky.
bit.
Becky.
From
Becky.
above.
Oh, Bucky!
What? We've been here for 5 minutes. What's he doing? Just wait a minute.
I
Can
know,
you
man.
imagine
You
all
need to
the
make eye contact with her to bond with her.
Which
Red
eye?
flower.
Just choose one night.
She'll imprint on you.
Can you guys imagine all the takes it took just to get like all of like the what the fuck that noise was? just Idris Elba and Dominic West in the studio, just like doing that for like so many takes.
It's like the pigeon noise from
Yeah.
Sesame
Bring
Street.
me your red flower.
So I think that our next review is probably going to be what comes out next.
Independence Day.
I'm not.
I wanna
watching
see that.
If you guys want to watch it,
Why do you not want to see it?
Because I want to save money.
Which one?
I'll watch anything
Independence
with Will
Day.
Smith in it.
Independence.
He's
not in it.
He's not.
I
gonna
can't
die.
wait for Independence Day.
Wait,
That
is Will
looks
Smith
so
not gonna be in it, is it?
stupid.
Because he
He's
died.
dead.
Yeah. He's
Oh
dead.
no! How can
Not
he
in real
die?
life. Will Smith did not die in real
Will
life.
Smith just wishes he was dead.
Just because of how weird his son
Wait, when
is.
did Suicide Squad
What,
come?
what list are you looking at?
That's
2016 in film.
July.
Okay.
July.
I'm
No,
not
August.
Suicide
Or
Squad
August.
comes out in August. First
Yeah.
week of
Really?
August.
It was
Yeah, I
August.
sworn it was July.
If we want to see it, we want to see the Lobster. We could do that.
Yeah, I want to see the
No,
lobster.
the Lobster is
I'm
not
curious.
playing anywhere nearby.
Really?
No.
Wait,
I looked it up.
Is it that? Is that a niche?
Yeah,
Damn it.
Oh.
it has a limited release. Anyway, next week comes out Independence Day Resurgence.
Ooh.
I'm not sure when Matt is going to send me the audio for The Conjuring 2, so that might be the review after this. In addition, I don't know how many of you want to see Warcraft, but I still want to see it.
I want to see.
I
I
do.
want to see
I
Warcraft,
could
so
do that.
we could see a review of that as well, and maybe Now You See Me Too. We were thinking about that.
No.
I'm not sure.
I haven't seen it.
Do we want to talk trailers?
Yeah, you guys can talk about some trailers.
Do
if
we
you
want to
want.
put trailers? Okay, so
There's only one trailer that matters.
oh, there is, but we need to build to that as per usual. So we ended up in the theater ahead of time, so we got all the trailers. We walked in with Moana,
Oh,
we
I
got
missed
our
that.
first look at that just earlier
I
this
missed
week.
that.
I am so hyped for this
I'm
one.
I
excited
agree.
too.
I agree.
The Hawaiian Disney princess movie.
Hell yeah.
Not Hawaiian, Samoan. But keep
Samoan.
Was it Samoan?
Yeah.
I could have sworn
Pretty
it
sure it's
was-
Samoan.
Huh.
But keep going.
But with The Rock as Maui,
Mhm.
which
Sounds great.
Oh,
The island?
already the god.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which
Oh,
he's got
the
little,
one that built
like
stuff
God.
after. The one that built stuff after.
he's got a big fish hook, and he can turn into an eagle, and he's got little dancing tattoos.
That sounds so
And the
cool.
animation on this dude looks fantastic. The visuals on the water looks absolutely gorgeous. I cannot wait for this movie. We got Ice Age. They're in space now. We're
And
And
Scrat is the savior.
apparently they're responsible for making the solar system.
Scrat is
Where
God.
Scrat creates a solar system and becomes Jesus and starts the Holocaust by accident and all this shit. And we got what else did we get? We got a new trailer for Storks.
Oh yeah.
There's
looked-
that
looked
that
pretty
weird Kelsey
I-
Grammer Stork movie. I might be in on this.
See, I can respect it. I'm not sure if I'll see it, but
I wouldn't pay to
from what
watch
I can from what I see, I feel like it'll be a solid movie.
Like the teaser trailers, I was like, oh, I'm glad
Or-
Kelsey Grammer is getting work these days. Because
What, you didn't like him in Transformers 4, bro?
Oh,
I'm sorry.
he was the perfect beast.
Scrambled eggs.
You know, like it's like I like Frasier, I like Sideshow Bob. Let's get Kelsey Grammer in more stuff. He deserves to be in more stuff. He's a good actor.
Yeah, I like him.
But he's got a great voice. And all those teaser trailers, it's they never really explained what the movie was about. So now we actually get a look at the plot, and I don't know. It looks like it could either be totally forgettable or actually kind of a fun little time.
I laughed throughout.
But
yeah, there was a couple instances.
we got something for some shitty adaptation of some shitty children's book, but who cares? Because we're not the target audience for that anyway.
Which one was
I don't
that?
remember that.
The
at
one
all.
with the kid and his drawings.
Oh, that fucking.
The
that was like a
animation in
bridge to Terabithia.
The animation in that was really nice. When it turned into like the little animated segments for a bit, that looked really cool.
It looked a bit ridiculous.
But
I thought it was Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
yeah, it's Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Max Keeble's big move. It's,
Yeah,
it's,
that kind of thing.
People's big move.
it's your ages 7 to 11, and
Come see this movie.
And you want to
And you
rebel
want a
against
movie-
the man.
You
Yeah,
want a
yeah,
movie
yeah, there's
about
a lot
getting
of-
back at your teachers and your principal, dude.
Yeah.
break the rules. Kids rule. It's that
We're
kind
the
of movie.
kids
So,
in
you know what? There'll
America.
always be a place for those kinds of movies. I'm not the target audience, and I can
It's not
accept
for us.
that.
Yeah,
Whatever.
I'm sure it's great.
Then was that it? I feel like we got Oh wait, there was.
Well, then there was the one
There
that we
was.
talked about last
Of
time.
course. Of
What's it
course.
called?
Once again, the trailer for 9 Lives.
9 Lives. Kevin
9
Spacey
Lives.
Wasn't as good.
and
this time
Christopher
around.
Walken, the
Spacey's
Death
cat.
God.
I feel like this one was almost better, just because
It was
like,
shorter.
You got to really look.
Just,
Man, the Christopher Walken cinematic
Yeah.
universe.
just. I turned you into
What
a
is he
cat.
doing?
You
Like,
need to appreciate you.
We're gonna
family.
fix you.
We're gonna snip your nuts off and keep you in this cat body. I am Beelzebub. Thank you for playing Twisted Metal. That's what we need. We need a Twisted Metal movie where Christopher Walken is Calypso. That's how.
Is
That's
Twisted
casting.
Metal the racing?
Twisted
Yeah,
Metal's
the
that car
combat
combat.
game.
Yeah, combat.
Combat.
But it's inevitable. We need to see 9 Lives.
I don't wanna.
I'm not paying.
No.
I refuse to pay to watch that.
I don't know.
I paid for Gem and the Holograms. I will apparently pay for anything.
Gem in the hologram.
I watched Gem and the Holograms for the 2 weeks it was in theaters.
If we can get Ethan to go to 9 Lives, I will go with him.
Oh, actually, if Ethan goes, I might have to go.
we need to pick, like, just think of it. We went over this and I think it was the Jungle Book cast. Just picture getting a late night showing of 9 Lives and being
Yep.
the only people in the theater.
Oh,
for
we,
that.
we would record in the
We
theater.
could do a
We
live,
could do
a live commentary.
Live commentary.
We could do a live riff tracks of 9 Lives, and no one could stop us.
Isn't that illegal?
Probably.
A little bit, but hey,
They'll
you know
probably
what?
come
It's
walking on
9
us. They'll
Lives.
probably
Is the
walk in on
cat
us.
company gonna sue us?
They might walk-
They lost all their money on
The
that
theater
movie.
might walk in on us.
And they'll join
but
us.
Hey.
It's just 9 Lives.
Officer?
And now there's a big cardboard standee of that fucking cat
Is there?
in
There
in
is.
Marquee. It was right outside of our
Oh, we should
theater.
have taken a picture.
No, it'll be there.
The trailer was playing. That standee was there. We got the trailer. They're pushing 9 Lives for SummerSlam. We need to participate.
SummerSlam.
This summer, Kevin Spacey is a cat.
Kevin Spacey.
Well,
I gotta prove
on
to
that
them I'm
note,
human.
on
the
that
climax of the
note
summer.
of 9 Lives and the Christopher Walken
Once
cinematic
again, we end a
universe.
podcast talking about 9 Lives.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think that that will conclude this episode of the Long Run podcast. Thank you so much for watching. Shout outs to everyone, of course, for watching, and shout outs to everyone at Pixar for making this film. Like, doing this animation, it is not
Solid
easy.
work.
Very, very,
Solid
very
work.
difficult. So
I'm
shout
just
outs.
happy you guys exist.
Yeah, shout
Thank
outs.
you, Pixar, for not muscling through an incredible sequel before Brad Bird was ready.
Yeah, just shout outs to everyone that worked on the film. You guys did some really, really good work. But before we go, of course, we got to go around.
Promote.
So that way people can know how to follow you. So, Neil, any words you want to say to your fans? How can the people follow you?
I have a Facebook. You can add me if you want.
Okay.
Strangers.
You don't have a Twitter. How do you have a Twitter?
I deleted everything.
Oh, okay. All right.
I got nothing to
Awesome.
promote. You can only
No.
watch me here and love me here.
Okay. Evan, do you have any words you want to say to the fans? Any shout outs you want to give? How can the fans follow you?
Shout out to DJ Khaled.
Movie talk. Don't play yourself.
They don't want us to watch good movies. Yeah, you can follow me here. Don't follow me in real life. Yeah.
What the
This is a strange new world with new fantastic points of view.
Anyway, of course, over to the professional Mark. Any shout outs you want to give? Words you want to say to the fans? How can the fans follow you?
All right, if you, for some reason, give the slightest bit of shit about what I have to say about anything, The Real Krapinsk on Twitter, Cinemark Movie Reviews on Facebook, and whiteguyWithNetflix.blogspot.com is my blog. I'm also going to be at Too Many Games this coming weekend.
Me too.
Nice.
Actually,
Yeah.
if you want to see me, hell yeah.
If you just look for the Magikarp salesman.
If someone comes up to us saying we love the long run, I will buy you dinner.
Yeah.
You.
We
yes.
love the long.
Yes, please.
Come on. Come on.
I'll give you some manner of goodie.
You. I'll pay for the dinner.
No,
and
yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
even going.
yeah. We'll buy. Well, yeah, Adam's buying. Yeah.
I'll join you.
I will raise
I will
the
come and
stakes.
find you so I can meet our fans.
I will raise the stakes. If you say you like the Long Run podcast and that you introduced it to 10 other people, we will buy you dinner and also
We'll give you an autograph.
we'll give you an autograph and a mystery prize
I'll
to
come,
be determined
I'll come
later.
help you with yard work at your house.
I will write a review for you. Whatever you want to hear.
I'll review your life.
I'll review
8 out
you.
of
I'll
10.
give you a glowing review
8
on
out
my
of
movie
10,
blog.
decent human being.
Actually, you just had a review that came out yesterday, right?
Oh, that's right. Yes. a little bit of a delay because of that E3 hype.
Mm-hmm.
Came out yesterday on Friday instead of the usual Thursday. I watched Sleepaway Camp.
What is that?
It is a cult classic
I've never heard
slasher movie from the 80s. Pretty much required viewing if you consider yourself a horror fan.
Wow.
And I made the very poor decision of watching this one very late at night.
Wow.
It is a goofy, cheesy, corny movie up until the last 5 minutes when it becomes the most horrifying thing I've ever seen.
Wow. That's bold words.
Okay.
Go in with no expectations, completely blind. Just let it do its work.
Okay.
Actually, you brought up E3. That's a good idea for another podcast.
That would be a good idea for a
But
podcast.
that's for the next episode.
For another
For the
time,
future.
another
next future.
age.
And of course, I'm your host, Adam. If you want to follow me, you can always follow me on Twitter at Adam_bomb with 2 M's. And of course, this is going to get uploaded to Jake's channel, but you can follow me on my YouTube channel, youtube.com. Just look up my name. And there's nothing else for you to really follow me on. How about you, Jake? How can the people follow you?
They can find me on Instagram. They can find me on LinkedIn.
But what's your name on Instagram?
I don't remember.
Jake Zark.
Jake
Jake
Sark.
Sark.
Pretty sure it's Jake Sark.
With a Z.
Space Mambo.
You can find me on battle.net, Bojangles.
Yeah.
Friend me. You could follow me on Spotify, but you should follow Evan on Spotify and listen to his playlist
Yeah.
because it's bumping.
It is bumping. Look for bumping, actually.
Bumping.
Hashtag bumpin'.
Bumping.
Hashtag Space Mambo.
Hashtag Space Mumbo. You can follow me on Dual Network and challenge my Space Mumbo. Come at me.
My 3DS friend code is...
PSN account. And Club Penguin. You can friend me on there.
I'm Tuxinator95 on Club Penguin. If you want to add me, come over to my igloo, have a party.
You want to plug your RuneScape?
If you want to buy me membership, I really want it, but my parents won't let me buy it.
Is Club Penguin still around?
Oh yeah, it
Yes,
is.
it is.
There's
Yo,
Marvel
man, it's
shit now.
poppin'.
It got bought out by Disney.
They're gonna make a Club Penguin movie.
Just wait. Dude.
Honestly, just wait.
Aw.
Man, if they made an Angry Birds movie.
We've been saturated with penguins, though.
They
We've
made
had
an
so
Angry
many
Birds
penguins
movie.
movies.
Disney owns Angry Birds?
No.
No, that's Rovio.
Okay.
Apparently, Angry Birds movie wasn't terrible.
Apparently, it had some, let's say, some subtext.
I didn't see it.
All right,
That's a whole nother
That's a whole
podcast.
another podcast. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you,
and,
guys.
please
Thank
tune
you.
in next week or whenever the next episode comes out. Thanks again, guys.
Once again, watch where you're going.